Now, that's right, Eleanor. You've got the idea. Good. Fine. Oh, yes, lovely, Estelle. Be careful of your neck now. Fine. Gomer, your rug's going to be just lovely.
Thank you, Miss Whipple.
Now, I told you before, we're on a first-name basis here. And my name is Clarice.
I'm sorry, I forgot, Clarice.
That's better. You know, Gomer, when I see how beautifully you do this, it just proves to me that men can be just as good rug hookers as women.
Well, thank you, ma'am, but I've done this before. Grandma taught me how to hook rugs when I was just a little feller. Grandma Pyle used to always say, busy fingers, stay at home, hadn't got the time to roam.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah, but she never could get Grandpa to try it. He was always roaming.
Is that so? Gomer, do you think perhaps some of your pals over at the Post might enjoy joining us some Sunday?
Oh, golly, I really don't think so.
I don't see why not. Do you know that many top business executives do this as therapy? They find there's nothing better to help them unwind and soothe their nerves.
Well, I don't think the fellas at the base would... I hate to say this, but if they knew what I was doing, I think they'd just laugh.
Oh, really? Oh, that's too bad. Oh, my, look at the time. Well, it's time to wrap it up, girls. Almost 4 o'clock. Now, I'll see you all next Sunday, and don't forget to give Irma your quarter for the lemonade and cookies. Oh, let me help you, Estelle.
Hey, what about that guy in the sweater?
No, he's too short. Besides, he's not the right type.
Hey, there's a couple of guys.
Nah, they're not right either. Look, I keep telling you the kind of a guy I want. A hayseed, you know, right off the farm. Naive, innocent, you know.
Yeah, but what do you want a guy like that for, Mike?
Because of the contrast. Look, don't you understand? The thing that'll make this work is a guy that looks like he doesn't know what's going on. Hey, look.
Huh? Where? But he's a Marine.
So what?
Well, guy in uniform, you think he'll want to do this?
Well, we won't tell him exactly what we're going to do. Just leave him to me. Hey, Marine. How are you? My name's Mike Bender. This is my assistant, Wendell.
How are you, kid?
Well, fine. My name's Gomer Pyle.
No kidding. Oh, well, I'm pleased to meet you, Gomer. Look, my friend and I are taking some pictures down here for a layout. A picture story, you know what I mean?
Well, no, not exactly.
Well, you see, we want to show people doing something, so we take a series of pictures to illustrate it.
Oh, you mean like in National Geographic when they show people planting rice or washing clothes in the river?
Yeah. That's it. Only our idea is to show people having fun in their leisure time.
Oh, well, that should really be good.
And we'd like to have a fellow just like you.
Yeah, a great, big, good-looking Marine.
Golly.
You see, we want to show how a Marine has fun on Sunday.
Well, I don't usually do very much on Sunday.
Well, that's all right. You see, we're just going to kind of pretend. It's what we call literary license. You know what I mean?
No.
Oh. I tell you what, don't you worry about it, because it's all good, clean fun. Now, Gomer, you don't object to a little good, clean fun, do you?
Oh, golly, no, I love it.
Well, that's all that matters. And besides that, Gomer, we're going to give you $20.
Oh, well, you don't have to do that.
Well, why not? If this idea is accepted, we can make a few bucks off of it. Why shouldn't you share in it, too?
Oh, well, I'll be glad to help you out if you like, but you don't have to give me anything for it.
I told you he was the right guy the minute I laid eyes on him.
Oh.
Now, just like you're catching a beach ball. You see, when the picture's finished, there'll be a beach ball in your hands.
There will? How can you do that?
Trick photography, Gomer. We can do a lot of things. You'd be surprised. Hold it.
That's right. Just like you're playing horsey. Hold it.
Well, shouldn't I have a rider?
Don't worry, you'll have a rider. Now hold it.
All right, Gomer, just like you're playing leapfrog.
Sure seems funny playing leapfrog alone. You sure you fellas know what you're doing?
We do. Don't worry, Gomer. We do. Hold it.
All right, now in this one, you're a real happy Marine. You own the whole beach. Throw out your arms.
Are you sure this looks like I'm having fun?
Don't worry, it will when we finish with it.
Are you going to put another ball in my hand?
Yeah, you'll be having a ball.
Okay, hold it. Perfect.
Well, that was wonderful, Gomer. We got some real good pictures, and you were great, really great.
Sure, Gomer. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, now if you'll just sign this, everything will be all right.
Sign that?
Yeah.
Well, what's it for?
Oh, it's just a release, Gomer, to give us permission to use your pictures.
It's just one of those things that's required if a guy's picture is published.
Yeah, so people won't think we're taking advantage of it. Here,
Well,
sign.
I sure never would do that.
Yeah, that's good, Gomer. Now, here's your 20 bucks.
Oh, no, I really don't want that.
Well, come on, take it. You deserve it. Buy yourself a milkshake.
Well, I just really wouldn't feel right taking it.
We insist, Gomer, we insist. Now take it.
Well, thank you, fellers. I wish you a lot of luck with your pictures. Well, I guess I'll be going.
Yeah.
Thanks again, and I'll see you.
Yeah, so long, Gomer.
Bye.
Bye, kid, and thanks a lot.
Yeah. Boy, we really got some great stuff.
Listen, what do you think he'll do when he sees those pictures?
What'll he do? Look, a guy like that doesn't even read our magazine. Besides, even if he does...
It came out pretty good.
Hey, get this. Terrific.
You're a genius, Mike.
What a face. You see, this guy makes the layout. You see what I mean? That innocent kisser and all those dolls. You know, there's a million beautiful dames, but a guy like this is hard to find. Oh, the boss is going to love these. I bet he'll use them in the next issue. And you know something? I dreamed up a great title. Sunday is Fun Day.
Hey, Boyle. Huh?
Yeah, nice.
Here's what it says about her. She's an attorney.
Okay. She can handle any case of mine.
Yeah, mine too.
Hey, but Sarge, let's go get some breakfast. I'm starved.
Yeah, all right. Oh, boy. Look at this. Sunday is Fun Day. And a Marine, too. Some guys have all the luck. You know, when I look at a magazine like this, I begin to feel that life has been very unfair to me. I mean, all of these gorgeous dames in the world, and I never get to see any of them. And some stupid guy like this comes along and... It can't be. It just can't.
Hey, Gomer, look at this. Sunday is Fun Day. Now, there's a way to spend a Sunday, Gomer. Playing at the beach with a dozen beautiful chicks. Hey, the guy's a Marine, too.
A Marine?
Matter of fact, he looks something like you. A lot like you. Exactly like you. Gomer,
What?
this is you.
Why, never.
It is you, isn't it? Isn't it?
No, I mean, yes, but it wasn't like that.
I don't get it. What?
Well, I mean, I was there, but it was just me. They said they'd fix them up just to trust them not to worry. And this is what they did. What a mean trick. What a mean trick.
Gomer, how did you get in this? Did you know somebody or what?
You don't understand, do you? I didn't make those pictures with those girls.
I don't get it. You said this was you, didn't you?
Yeah, but those girls weren't there when I made the pictures.
Huh? Gomer, wait, where are you going?
To a phone. I'm going to call those people up and give them a piece of my mind right now.
No. Wait, Gomer, wait. Listen, these girls, did you get their numbers? Listen, how did you get in touch with them? We'll get a couple for a night, huh? Huh, Gomer? Huh?
Sorry, they're not here today.
Well, where are they? I want to talk to them right now.
Well, they're out the 3rd Street beach shooting pictures. Why? Who's this?
Well, this is Gomer Pyle, the Marine they tricked into being in your magazine this month. And I've got something I want to say to them. They're not going to get away with it. No, sirree. The 3rd Street beach, huh? Well, goodbye.
You know what I think? This is Pyle's double. You know, they say everybody has somebody that looks just like him. Somewhere in the world, this is the guy that looks like Pyle.
Marines? Another PFC in the Marine Corps that looks exactly like him? It's not possible. It's gotta be Pyle.
Yeah, but with these dames? These gorgeous, wild, wonderful-looking dames? Hey, listen to what it says. Here are some fun girls cavorting on the beach with their Sunday companion, a playful young Marine. The Sunday companion, Pyle?
I sure don't get it, but if it is Pyle,
Yeah, if it is, Pyle, what?
well, I've said it before. You never know what kind of a guy dames go for. You never know.
Oh, come on, Boyle. They're all kind of taste, but Pyle?
You never know. You just never know. I've seen good-looking dames out with monkeys.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Take me. I mean, I'm a good-looking guy, yet some dames don't see it. What's the matter?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
Sergeant Carter,
Oh, Pyle.
I wonder if I could have my pies now.
Here you pass now? Why, it's only 10:15. You usually don't leave the base on Sunday until around 1.
I know, Sergeant, but I've got some urgent business to take care of, and I have to leave now.
Huh?
Could I have my pass now, please?
Well, yeah, I guess so, Pyle. Maybe I can give you a lift where you're going. I got the Jeep outside. I could take you.
Oh, thank you, Sergeant. I've got to see some people, and I prefer to see them alone.
Oh, alone, huh?
So could I have my pass now, please? I'd like to get started.
Yeah, well, there you are, Pyle. Have a good time.
Thank you, and bye, Sergeant Carter, Corporal Boyle.
Bye, Pyle.
What do you think, Boyle?
Well, those dames said he was their Sunday companion.
Let's get the Jeep. We're gonna follow him.
But you're sure you got a signed release from him, huh, Mike? I told you, I got it. It's in my desk. Well, if you got the release, okay. But he sure sounded hot over that phone. Ah, forget it. What can he do to us?
What's up?
Oh, that Marine we used. You know, the cornball. He saw the magazine, called the office, he's all shook up. Yeah, and he's on his way out here. That's why he came out to warn you. Well, look, you go back to the office. Just leave him to me.
Let's just park right here. We'll see where he's going.
He's going toward the beach.
Now look this way, that's it. Will you get out of there? Come on. Now, this is what I have. Hey, here he comes. What do we do?
Well, don't panic. Hey, girls, come here, will you? Look, you see this Marine down here coming up the beach? Huh? Well, he's got a little beef with us, and he's kind of sore, you know what I mean? So I want you to kind of, smooth him down. Take his mind off it. Be a little nice to him, you know? Go on, get him.
Where is he? Do you see him?
No, not yet. Oh,
What is it, Sarge?
I don't believe it.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you believe it? Do you believe it?
Glasses don't lie. I guess Sunday is just fun day for Gomer.
I can't watch anymore. It tears me to pieces.
Well, why don't we go down there and ask for an introduction? I mean, Pyle's your boy, isn't he? No need to keep all that loveliness to himself.
No, Boyle. You know, sometimes you don't use your head. Look, if we went down there now, it's obvious we followed him, right? How else would we know he's here?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. We'll get in on it, all right, but we'll do it smooth and subtle. The Carter way.
So Pileway doesn't look too bad from here.
Oh, come on, Boyle. Let's get out of here. If we stand around here looking, it'll drive us nuts.
All right, girls. All right, girls, let him go. Let him go. I'm sorry, Pyle, but we were just having a little fun.
Fun? Well, I want to tell you one thing, Mr. Bender. I don't appreciate your sense of humor, and I don't appreciate what you did with my pictures in your magazine. It was a mean, low-down trick.
Oh, now look, Pyle.
It was deceitful, that's what it was. Sham trickery, just plain out-and-out lying.
Now look, Pyle.
If you'd have told me what you were going to do with those pictures, I never would have consented, but you misled me.
Oh, take it easy, will you, Pyle? We thought you'd get a kick out of it. We knew you'd be surprised, but it was just a good-natured little joke.
Well, I don't consider it a joke. I was shocked when I saw those pictures. I don't think it was funny one bit, and that's what I came here to tell you. And there's one more thing. Here's your $20 back. It was forced on me through deceit and trickery, and I don't want anything to do with it.
Oh, come on now, Pyle.
I don't want any part of ill-gotten gains.
My, you've accomplished a lot today, Gomer.
Thank you, Miss Whipple.
Clarice, remember?
I'm sorry. Clarice.
That's better.
You know, you were right about this being relaxing, because when I got here this afternoon, I was terribly upset.
Oh, really, Gomer? Well, what was wrong?
Well, I'd rather not say. But you know one thing, Miss Clarice? There's a lot of deceit in this world, an awful lot. And that's one of the reasons I like coming here and hooking rugs. There's something honest about it.
You know, Gomer, in all my years, I have never heard that expressed better. Girls, did you hear what Gomer said? Oh, he expressed it beautifully.
You want to see me, Sergeant Carter?
That's right, Pyle. Come in, come in.
Did I do something wrong, Sergeant?
No, Pyle, you didn't do anything wrong. And that's just it. We don't just call a fella in when he's done something wrong. Sometimes we call him in when he's done something right.
You mean I did something wrong, Sergeant?
No, you did something right. That's why I called you in.
I did? Well, what did I do right, Sergeant Carter?
Well, your general attitude. You have got a terrific general attitude.
I have?
Absolutely. Whatever you do, you stick right with it. Right or wrong, you stick with it. And I like that, Pyle. I like that a lot.
Golly, Sergeant, I think I'm gonna cry.
No, Pyle, don't do that. Just run along, and remember, it's not all negative here. We can be positive, too.
Thank you, Sergeant Carter. Thank you.
I don't understand you, Sarge. Why don't you just come out and ask him to introduce you to those dames?
Because that's not the way you handle a guy like Pyle. A guy like Pyle is delicate, like a butterfly. You gotta creep up on him in easy steps.
Yeah? And that was step one?
Right. And about 3 o'clock this afternoon, it'll be time for step 2. You like your ice cream, Pyle?
Mm-hmm. It's delicious.
Good. You can have another if you like.
Well, let me finish this one first, and then I'll see.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you why I'm doing this, Pyle. It's because I don't think it's enough to just tell a fella when he's doing well. I think you should reward him. And this is your reward. Eat.
Sure a day I'll remember, Sergeant.
Yeah, well, I've enjoyed it, too. And you know something else, Pyle? You are good company. Maybe you and me should spend more time together.
Oh, I'd really like that, Sergeant.
You would? Well, how about next Sunday, for instance? We'll do anything you want, whatever you usually do on Sunday.
Sunday? Well, I can't. But I'm free tomorrow night.
No. Call it silly, but I really want to spend a Sunday with you, Pyle.
Well, I don't know, Sergeant. You see, there's this usual thing I do on Sunday, and, well, I just don't think you'd be interested.
Well, that's where you're wrong, Pyle. I would be interested. I would.
Would?
I'll level with you, Pyle. I know what you do on Sunday, and I know you've been keeping it a secret, and I don't blame you. Because a lot of them knuckleheads would ruin it for you. You're right to keep it to yourself.
Well, the only reason I kept it a secret, Sergeant, is because I thought the fellers would laugh.
Laugh? What would they laugh about?
Well, it is kind of embarrassing, all those girls, and I am the only feller.
Yeah, I know. It's wonderful. I mean, I think we should keep it that way. Just you, me, and all them girls.
Then you really are interested, Sergeant?
Interested? Of course I'm interested. Are you kidding?
Well, it is relaxing. Clarice keeps saying it's therapy.
Oh, it is. Clarice is right. Now, listen, where are you meeting this Sunday?
At Clarice's?
At Clarice's place? Waitress, bring another plate of ice cream for my friend here. Eat. Did I do it or did I do it?
Well, what's up, Sarge?
I'm in, boy. I'm in. Pyle's gonna take me with him on Sunday.
Oh, yeah? How did you work that?
Just like I told you. I played him like a barracuda, and he went for the bait, hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, great. So you didn't forget little Chuck, did you? You got me in, too, didn't you?
Well, not yet. You gotta play it cool. Now, we can't rush down there in a gang, you know.
Oh, but Sarge...
Well, take it easy, boy. Take it easy. You'll get your chance just as soon as I'm in solid. Hey, you know where we're going Sunday? To Clarice's place. Doesn't that send chills up and down your back?
Why can't I go with you?
Relax, boy. What's your rush? There's plenty of time. Hey, wait a minute. Clarice? You know what I think, Boyle? I think that's Clarice, the attorney.
Take me with you. Please take me with you.
Is this it, Pyle? Is this where Clarice lives?
That's right. 3rd floor, apartment 3G.
3G. G like in girls, huh? Hey, Pyle, look at that. Is she one of them? One of the group?
Well, she must be one of the new ones. We're getting new people all the time.
Come on, Pyle, I can't wait.
Well, this is it, Sergeant.
Wait a minute, Pyle, wait a minute.
What is it, Sergeant?
Do they know I'm coming, that you're bringing me?
Oh, yeah, I called Clarice, and she was just as happy as could be.
Good, good. One more thing. I know this is my first time, but I kind of operate better if I swing loose.
Huh?
I mean, don't stick too close to me. You see, I know my way around, so don't be looking over my shoulder too much. You get it, huh?
You mean you've done this before, Sergeant?
Many times, son. Many times.
Is that so? Gee, I didn't know you hooked drugs before.
Oh, Gomer, and you brought your friend, Sergeant Carter. How nice. Come in, boys, come
You
in.
didn't know I did what to rugs before?
Girls, will you stop in for a moment, please? I want to introduce a new member of our group. This is Sergeant Carter, Gomer's friend. Now, I'm Clarice, and this is Marge, Eleanor, and Irma.
A rug hooking class. Boy, I'd have given anything to see that.
Knock it off, Boyle. It's not that funny.
It isn't? I think it's hilarious. Hey, you know what I ought to do? I ought to call it into the base newspaper. They'd get a kick out of that.
You do that, Boyle, and you'll get a kick out of it, too, only not in the same place. Boy, that Pyle. I could kill him. I really could kill him.
Why? It's not his fault. You wanted to go with him on Sunday, and you went with him.
No. Pyle knew what I had in mind in the first place. He set a trap for me, and I walked right into it.
Oh, come on, Sarge. Pyle, he couldn't do a thing like that.
He couldn't. He did. Listen, he knew all about them pictures in that magazine, Sunday is Fun Day. When I told him I wanted to spend a Sunday with him, he had to know what I had in mind. Sure, he did that on purpose. There's a lot of malice in that guy, Boyle.
You can't be serious, Sarge. Now, say what you want about Pyle. That guy would do anything for you.
For me? You mean to me? He was out to get me, and he did. No, this was his nice, subtle way of giving me the shiv. After all this time, he finally figured out a way to get back at his sergeant.
Sergeant Carter, are you busy? Could I see you for a minute?
Why? What do you got behind your back, a rattlesnake?
Surprise, surprise, surprise. It's for you, Sergeant Carter. I've been working on it almost 3 months. Read what it says.
Semper Fidelis, especially to Sergeant Carter.
It's just a small token of my appreciation for you being the kind of sergeant you've been to me. It's just my way of saying thanks.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks, Pyle.
Well, use it in good health, Sergeant. Well, bye. Bye, Corporal Boyle.
Well, what do you think of that, Sarge? If I were you, I'd feel pretty small. Sarge?
Hey, how about that, Deepus? He made it, Gomer.
How about that? Golly, that's good news. I'm really glad for him.
What's up, man?
Hey, Lester, it's Stevens. Guess what? He made OCS.
Oh, is that a fact?
It's right here in black and white. PFC Joseph Davis is hereby transferred to Officers Candidate School, Quantico, Virginia.
Well, isn't that something?
Hey, there he is! Deepus!
Hey, Deepus!
Hey, you made it, pal!
Made what? What are you talking about?
OCS is what?
You mean I've been accepted? No kidding?
It's official. And as a future officer, let me be the first one to throw you a salute.
Hey, thanks, Gomer.
Hey, buddy, right? Yeah.
Hey, look, I'll see you later, guys. I want to call home and tell my folks the good news.
Yahoo!
Bless his heart. I think we ought to buy him something. You know, a farewell present or something?
Yes, a gift. That would be very much in order. What about an electric shaver?
Are you kidding? He doesn't even shave yet.
And what?
I got it. Why don't we throw him a farewell dinner party?
A dinner party?
Well, sure. You can always buy him a gift, but a dinner party with all of his friends, well, I think Davis would cherish that for the rest of his life. The pleasure of his buddy's company for an evening.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Take him out for a party. You got something, Gomer.
And we invite Sergeant Carter as guest of honor.
You just lost it. Oh, come on, Gomer. What do you want the sergeant along for? He'll just put a damper on everything.
Why in the world could you have a celebration like that and not invite Sergeant Carter? What do you say, Lester?
Well, his presence would tend to formalize the evening. On the other hand, omitting him from the guest list might be construed as a breach of military etiquette.
Say what?
I say invite the sergeant.
Good.
Well, just don't have him sit next to me. Have you ever watched him eat?
I got it. I'll head into town and scout around for the right kind of restaurant.
Oh, Gomer, now keep it down. I mean, keep it on the inexpensive side, okay?
Uh-huh. And I got an idea just where to go. Oh, and by the way, I think we ought to put up the money for the sergeant's dinner so he don't have to pay.
Keep it way down.
Pardon me, sir. Could I ask you a question?
Yes. What can I do for you?
Well, some friends and myself are giving a buddy of ours a farewell dinner, and I'm new around here, and I was just wondering if you could suggest a real good Chinese restaurant.
Well, I don't know. Chinese food doesn't agree with me. But if you're looking for a good delicatessen, why,
No, it's got to be a restaurant, really. Hey, how about that place over there? Wong's Far East Pagoda. With all those people going in there, it must be real good.
Well, I guess so. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yes. Can I help you with something?
Yes, ma'am. I think I'll have a bite of lunch.
Lunch?
That's right. And say, what happened to all those people I saw coming in here? Is there another room upstairs or somewhere?
Well, they eat fast and go.
Oh, well, I've got plenty of time, and this seems like such a nice place to eat. I think I'll have a bowl of that chow mein.
Chow mein?
You know, those Chinese vegetables all chopped up with little thin slices of chicken, and over the top you sprinkle some noodles.
Yes, I know chow mein. But I don't think you'd like it.
Not like it? Why would you say a thing like that? I love it. I used to eat it every Friday back home at Pete's Wienerburger.
Not everyone liked my chow mein.
You know something? I've got an aunt back in Mayberry just like you. She cooks up these wonderful meals, and right before she serves them, she starts apologizing for them. Everybody says she's the best cook in town, but she just don't have any confidence in herself.
But you, Marine, you're used to different style of cooking. My chow mein, I don't know.
There you go, apologizing again. You just bring me the chow mein and put it here on the table, and I'll bet you anything in the world I'll really like it.
Hurry to the open side. I got
Okay, what do you do? Stand there or take a hit? A picture. Let's finish you, huh? How about you, big boy? What do you say?
Give me a card.
A card.
I'm good.
Dealer has 14. Take a hit. What do you know? 5. Anybody beat 19? Okay, house wins. Better luck next time.
Wong, we have a customer.
So? Send him back. Plenty of room at the poker table.
No poker. He's here for lunch.
Lunch? You want lunch? You're kidding.
Hey, you guys. Some clown came here to eat lunch. No.
Honey, this is no time for lunches. Tell him get lost.
He's a Marine. He's here to eat. If we're going to keep a restaurant front, we better serve him.
Your wife. Worry. All the time. Worry. Chester.
You call me, boss?
What have we got to eat?
Oh, somebody hungry? We got sandwiches. Tuna fish, bacon tomato, cream cheese with bagel, peanut butter.
No. Customer out front wants Chinese food.
Chinese food? Here? We don't have ready. Hey, maybe we send out for Chinese.
Never mind. I take care of him. You deal. What?
Is that the way you wait on customer?
Huh? Oh, almost forgot. Good afternoon. What do you want?
Hey there. I want a bowl of chow mein, a pot of tea, and a fortune cookie.
Chow mein?
Uh-huh. You know those vegetables with little slices of chicken?
Yes, I know chow mein. Listen, Marine, you want good advice? Go across street. Eat at Lum Q's.
Lum Q's?
They got real good chow mein. Much better than here.
Shame on you for telling me to eat over there. What if the proprietor heard you say that?
I'm proprietor.
You? You're Mr. Wong? Well, why in the world would you tell me to go to the restaurant across the street?
You like it better.
How do you know?
You want eat? Good food? Hot? Tasty?
Well, yes.
Go across street.
Oh, you Mr. and Mrs. Wong?
Yes, why?
Well, excuse me for asking you this, but how long you folks been in the restaurant business?
Not long. Why?
That's just what I thought. You folks just don't have any confidence. All you need is one satisfied customer, and you'll see. So you bring me my chow mein, and we'll talk after that.
But
I won't say another word till I've eaten.
Wong, what are we going to do?
I like to throw him out. 一拳打死佢嗰個蠢嘢都唔聽人講㗎，得 dumbbell. Maybe I tell him the stove broke down.
No, Wong. We'd better feed him. He might get suspicious.
Yeah, not like that could cause trouble. Okay, we serve him.
I think he almost finished.
Good. Let's give him a check. Get him out of here. Big pain. All finished?
Yes, I am, Mr. Wong. And I've got just one thing to say to you. Shame, shame, shame.
Huh?
Imagine telling me I wouldn't like your chow mein. Why, it was delicious. And you mean all of this was just $1.15, including that big bowl of rice and the fortune cookie?
Yes, that includes everything.
You really like it?
I knew I would. And I may have a big surprise for you. That's all I'll say now. Bye.
Wong, what do you think he means?
Who knows? We got rid of him. Let's get back to work.
Hey, Bert, that Marine just came out of there. What do you think?
Well, let's find out. The more evidence we get, the sooner we can close in. Hey, Marine! You! Come here a second, will you?
Something I can do for you?
Yeah, you look like a guy who knows his way around. Where can a guy go get a little action around here?
Huh?
You just came out of Wong's Far East Pagoda, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Well, how about giving us some lowdown on Wong?
Yeah, fill us in, Private. Tell us a little something about the place.
Well, I really shouldn't tell you this.
Yeah?
The egg drop soup was a little bit cold, and I think the noodles could have been a mite crisper. But I don't want the Wongs to know that came from me. They're working so hard to make a go of it. They need all the customers they can get.
We're not interested in noodles or egg drop soup. What we want to know about is Chuck-a-Luck or Pan or Bingo or AC-Doocy, you know.
Gosh, I don't know. They all must have been a la carte, 'cause I didn't see them on the dinner.
Is that all you can tell us about the place, huh?
No, there's one more thing. They're two of the nicest people in the whole world, but I don't think they know much about running a restaurant.
They don't know.
But I hope that won't stop you from going in there, 'cause they need all the support and confidence that we can give them. Hope you enjoy your meal.
Well, what do you think?
Well, there are all kinds of front men, but that is the smoothest operator I've ever seen.
Hello? Wong's Pagoda? Hello? Is this Mr. Wong? No, this Chester. Who this? Tell Mr. Wong, Gomer Pyle. Gomer Pyle. Gomer Pyle. Oh, Macbeth. Hey, anybody here know a horse named Gomer Pyle? Pyle? What track? Pasadena? Pimlico? Where he running?
Oh, probably some mix-up bookie. Give me the phone. Hello, this is Wong.
Hey, Mr. Wong, this is Gomer Pyle. You remember me? I'm the Marine that had lunch in there. Remember?
Oh, yes, I remember. What you want?
Well, you remember that surprise I told you about? Well, this is it. You see, some of my buddies and I are throwing a farewell banquet, and we agreed that your restaurant is just the place to have it.
Oh, no. No banquets here. Cannot have banquets.
Now, there you go again, Mr. Wong. I don't want to have to scold you. All you need is a little faith and confidence in yourself, and the party will turn out just fine.
No. Party be big flop. Call them cues. He make good party. Don't come here. I refuse to serve you.
Well, in that case, we'll just march up and down in front of your restaurant till you let us in. The whole bunch of us. What do you think of that?
No, don't do that. Listen.
Now, I won't take no for an answer. We'd like to reserve our table for tomorrow night around 7 o'clock. There'll be 14 of us, so whatever you cook up will be just fine. We'll see you.
Wait. Hello? Operator.
What's the matter, Wong? What are you shouting about?
It's that stupid Marine. He said he's coming down here tomorrow night for a party. Our biggest night here in the back. He said if we don't let him in, he's going to march outside until we do.
That's bad, Wong. It will call attention to place. Look funny.
Yes. Maybe we better just close.
Close? What do you mean close?
Well, tomorrow night, close the pagoda. No parties, no nothing.
If we close that, even worse. Someone really gets suspicious. Might even tell police.
Police?
Police?
No, fellas. No police here. Just making joke with the wife.
See what can happen?
Oh, boy. We are really in trouble, thanks to that Marine.
Well, we're just going to have to go through with it, Wong. Maybe it'll do us good.
Do us good?
Yes. It'll be nice for a change. Having people come here for dinner. Make us feel like we're back in restaurant business.
2 years ago, we were in restaurant business, and we lost our shirts. We were lucky to come out with a pair of chopsticks.
Well, at least it was honest, and the place wasn't full of gamblers.
Lotus, if it wasn't for the gamblers, I would be living with my in-laws in San Francisco.
Well, you just keep it up, Wong, and you'll end up living with inmates in San Quentin.
Sergeant Carter?
What do you want, pal?
Well, I didn't want to ask you this until all the details was worked out.
What are you talking about, pal?
Well, the fellers are having a farewell dinner for Private Debus tomorrow night, and we thought you might like to come. I sure hope you're not busy.
Yeah, well, I'm busy.
Well, the fellers went to an awful lot of trouble to see that everything was just right. I found this real nice little Chinese restaurant.
You?
Mm-hmm. I'm sort of in charge of all the arrangements.
Well, I'm very busy tomorrow.
Oh, gee, Sergeant.
Besides, it's not good for a sergeant to fraternize with his men.
Oh, well, it's nothing like that, Sergeant. You see, we wanted you there so you can make a little speech.
Speech?
It seems only natural to me that at Debus's farewell dinner, you'd be the one to say a few words. So you see, Sergeant, in a way, you're kind of the guest of honor, our featured speaker.
Oh, a farewell dinner. Well, that puts a different light on it. I didn't know it was a farewell dinner.
Would you, Sergeant, would you come and say a few words?
Well...
Please, Sergeant, you're the only one that could make a speech.
Well...
Of course, there are people that don't like to get up and speak, so if you would just like to come and not say anything.
I'll speak.
Oh, well, that's wonderful, Sergeant. We'll all be leaving together tomorrow night at 7:15. Thank you, Sergeant.
Fellow Marines, leathernecks, comrades in arms. As your platoon, Sergeant. Buddies and troopers, as your friendly sergeant. Fellow Marines, barrack buddies.
As soon as we finish with these vegetables, Chester, we better get started on the wonton soup.
Boy, this dinner turning out to be a big deal. Never knew Chinese eat so good.
Here's the spare ribs.
No, not here. Hardly enough room as it is.
Hey, Juan, what's going on? What's the big idea?
Sorry, fellas, need table. Cooking big dinner.
We're right in the middle of a hand.
Look, it's just for tonight. You find another table.
Hey, Barney, what's the action here?
So far, nothing. Maybe you can change the luck.
Excuse me, cook's the table.
Wait a minute, Chester.
No can wait. Gotta make egg roll.
Sorry, meat table the press duck.
I don't know about you guys, but I've had it.
That goes double for me.
Let's get out. Hey, fellas, don't go way back. Come back. No, the business as usual tomorrow. Please come back. You're my best customers. Come back. 哎呀，嗰個 Gomer Pyle 神經病啊！
Well, this is it, fellas. What do you think?
Well, you were right, Gomer. It's a Chinese restaurant.
Well, if you think this is nice, just wait till you see the inside. Come on, let's go in.
Let's go in. Hey, you remember
Sergeant Carter, aren't you coming?
No, you go on in, Pyle. I want to get something out of the car.
Right.
Fellow Marines and buddies, as your platoon sergeant and friend, when I was asked to speak here tonight...
Getting quite a crowd tonight, huh, Murph?
Yeah, plenty of action. I think we better check with headquarters.
Gomer, this food is good. Really good.
A fine choice, Pyle. You picked the winner.
Thank you. How about you, Sergeant Carter? You enjoying your meal?
Huh? What?
How do you like the food?
Oh, it's fine. It's just great. Fellow Marines and buddies.
Fellas, I've got to tell you that this has been one of the best times I've ever had in my life, and I don't know how to thank you.
Well, I think we all owe a vote of thanks to Pyle here. He's the one that found this place.
Oh, no, Lester. If there's any credit, it should go to the Wongs. After all, they cooked the dinner and they put up the decorations. They're the ones responsible for all this.
Well, if that's the case, let's hear it for the Wongs, everybody. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray!
See there, I knew you could do it.
Make me so happy. Come, Wong. We have work in kitchen.
Fellow Marines and buddies, when I was asked to speak here tonight, I accepted the invitation with great humility. Fellow Marines...
Sergeant?
What, Pyle?
We're about ready to begin.
I was just freshening up, Pyle.
Hey, fellas, could I have your attention for just a minute? I'm sure y'all know that the reason we're here tonight is to honor our good and dear friend, Private Joe Davis. Now, there's an awful lot of nice things we could all say about him, but there's somebody here tonight who can say it better than anybody. And I think if we ask him, he might get up and say a few words. How about it, Sergeant Carter? The reason that I asked Sergeant Carter is because he knows him better than anybody. After all, he's worked with him, he's instructed him, and who's in a better position to tell us about Joe Davis than Sergeant Carter? Who is the one, after all, who can make a speech about any of us here?
Sit down, Pyle.
So without any further talk, here he is, Joe Davis's sergeant, my sergeant, your sergeant, Sergeant Carter.
Thank you, fellas. Thank you. Thank you very much, fellas. Thank you. Thank you, Pyle. Thank you, Pyle.
Don't anybody move! Halt! Stay right where you are. Place is surrounded.
What are you talking about? What's going on here?
This is a front for a gambling joint. That's what it is, Sergeant.
That's right. You mean you haven't been to the gambling tables in the back yet, or is that for dessert?
Gambling tables?
Oh, officer, there must be some mistake. I know the Wongs personally, and there's no gambling here.
Of course it's not here. It's never out front. It's in the back where it always is.
I should have known, Pyle. I should have known you would pick out a place that's a front for a gambling joint.
No, Sergeant, it just can't be.
Come on, boys. Hey, this is Ray.
Why?
Is something wrong, officer? Looking for somebody?
Nothing here but cooking.
Hey, this place really is a kitchen.
Well, of course it's a kitchen. Shame, shame, shame. Accusing these nice people of gambling. Whatever gave you such an idea?
Well, something must have gone wrong somewhere. We'll have to check this out with headquarters. What do you suppose happened? I don't know. Let's go. Sorry to have bothered you folks. Just go right on with your dinner.
Thank you, officer. Wait, I'll be right out, Sergeant. Now listen, don't you all let this little mistake upset you. You two've got your confidence going real good now, and things are even gonna get better. Well, when the fellers out there start spreading the word around, you're gonna be packed every night.
You mean this many customers all the time?
Well, sure, with the wonderful food you serve. Wouldn't surprise me if those police didn't start coming in here regular.
Police? Oh. Hey, you think Chinese truck drivers start coming too? That really make it good.
Truck drivers, Marines, everybody.
That settles it. There's no business like restaurant business.
Thanks to Gomer Pyle.
And the part that I played in his being selected for OCS is hardly worth mentioning. I mean, what did I do? True, I led him through boot camp. I probably had a hand in molding his character, building him into the man he is today. But surely I can't take any credit for that. It's my job, and a job well done is reward enough. What was Private Debus when he first came to me? He was nothing but a big blob of clay. And I took that blob of clay and I molded it. I shaped it. I formed it. But can I take any credit for that? A little, yes. What was Private Debus when he joined my platoon? A raw recruit. But I saw his potential. I took him under my wing. I gave him the benefit of my many years of military experience. And so tonight, we're sitting here enjoying the fruits of those efforts. How well I So what did I do? I'll tell you. I hit all of them.
Sergeant Carter, it's a letter for you. Sergeant? Hey, Sergeant.
What are you doing here, Pyle?
Sure, I'm glad to run into you. Feller over at the post office wanted me to explain to you how come it was delivered so late.
Let me have that again.
You see, they sent it to another Sergeant Carter who'd just been transferred out of the country. And he said it wasn't his, so back it come all the way. Them fellers over at the post office really tried, though. It's like they say, neither rain, nor sleet, nor snow. But, of course, it shouldn't have been 2 weeks late on account of the weather hadn't been terrible lately. Have you noticed it's been real lovely out? Not a touch of sleet.
There's a letter for me.
Uh-huh. It's a funny stamp on it. It's got the Chinese writing all over it.
Chinese. Korean. And it's from her. That's a Korean stamp. Well, where is it?
Well, it's right up in the right-hand corner, right next to the...
Not the stamp, the letter, the letter.
Oh, it's over on your desk. Hey, Sergeant, my cousin Goober saves stamps, and I was just wondering...
Yeah, the stamp. Now, get out of here.
Boy, them Chinese folks sure use real stickum.
Well, I'll be. How about that?
Good news, Sergeant?
This is great. My daughter's coming to visit me.
Daughter? You got a daughter?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know you had a daughter.
Well, I have.
Where's she been all this time?
Korea. She was born in Korea.
Korea? Well, I'll be. That sure is a strange place to have a daughter.
Huh? Oh, it's a little girl I kind of adopted years ago during the Korean thing. The whole company watched out for her, but she took to me mostly. Treated me just like I really was her father. So I've been looking out after her ever since.
Oh, bless her heart. That's your daughter, all right. That nose and that cute little chin. She looks exactly like you. That toothy grin and everything. Yep, no mistaking her. She's got that Carter smile, too.
Well, she's adopted.
I know, Sergeant, but that's what happens. Adopted children grow to look like their mamas and daddies. Didn't you know that?
No.
Well, they do. What's her name?
Sulin Chen Hong. In Korea, that means pink blossom.
Oh, did you ever? Pink Blossom Carter.
It's been so long, and, well, I always hoped. But I can't believe I'm really going to see her again.
Well, she'll be here, all right. Your own little girl, and you'll be able to see her all the time. And you can help her with her homework and braid her hair into pigtails, and you'll be going to them PTA meetings and everything. Where's she going to stay?
Stay? Well, I don't know. I hadn't even thought about it.
I know what. Maybe she could stay with Sergeant and Miss Mason. They got that big, nice house and all them young'uns of their own.
Yeah, they got that big backyard with a slide and the swings and that plastic wading pool. That'll be perfect.
Well, when will the little darling be here?
Well, let's see. She says she will arrive on Monday the... Holy smoke, that's today.
Well, bless her heart.
She's coming in this afternoon. What time is it?
About 2:20.
Well, her plane comes in at 3. Look, I got to get out to the airport. Tell Cuccinelli to take the guard mount. How about that? You get a letter and it's... He'll tell you.
What's with him?
He just got the news that he's about to become a father. All over again.
Now boarding at Gate 6. Flight 90, New York.
Thank goodness. I was afraid I missed you. You been here long, honey? Well, what's the difference? You're here now. Is this your bag? Come on. What's the matter? You mad because I'm late? Well, I'm sorry, honey, but your letter came late. Now, come on. You want to carry it? Okay. Hey, look at you. You're so big. Here, I almost forgot. Now, just relax, sweetheart. There's nothing to worry about. Your daddy's going to take care of you now. I know it's all a little strange, but, well, it'll take us a little while to get to know each other again, huh? Come on.
What's going on here?
It's okay, buddy. I can handle it. Now, mustn't bother the man, Sue Lynn.
Her name is Anna Lee.
Her name is Sue Lynn. Don't you think I know my own daughter?
Don't you think I know mine?
Well, I'm sorry. It's a natural mistake. I one just like her.
Now arriving at Gate 5. Flight 110 from New Orleans. Passengers may claim their luggage at the check stand outside. Now
Cabo autonom. Autonom.
may claim their luggage at the check stand outside.
Are there any more passengers coming off that flight?
No, they're all in, it looks like.
But they can't be. Was there a little girl looking for Sergeant Carter?
No, I'm sorry, no one came here.
I missed her.
Maybe she went straight out to the base, Sergeant.
Yeah, that's it, sure. She probably figured I was on a detail or something, so she went right out to the base. That's pretty smart thinking for a kid, huh? I sure hope somebody's looking out for her.
Can I help you, ma'am?
Excuse me, is Sergeant Carter here?
No, ma'am. He's gone down to the airport to pick up his little daughter. She's come all the way from Korea. That's right next door to China.
How unfortunate. We must have missed each other. I'm Sue Lynn.
You're Sue Lynn? Golly. Well, he won't be expecting you.
Oh, but you just said that.
He's expecting his daughter, but he won't be expecting you. I mean, you're a whole lot bigger than what he's looking for. He figured you'd look more like this.
He still has the picture. All the Marines were so very kind and so helpful. They looked after me, and they were interested in everything I did.
Well, it seems like they still are. You know, you sure speak English good. You ain't got hardly a trace of an accent.
Well, that is thanks to Sergeant Carter. His assistants helped me to go to school, an American school.
Good old Sergeant Carter.
He always was the kindest of all, so sweet and so considerate.
Hadn't changed one bit.
So patient and so understanding.
That's him, all right. That's our Sergeant Carter.
He used to recite nursery rhymes in that soft voice of his.
What are you guys doing there? Move, move, move! Out of there, on the double!
That's him, though I do expect his voice has changed some.
Pyle, didn't anyone call me?
If you can't guess who this is.
Sulin? Well, I'm your I'm Sergeant Vincent Carter.
Bless your hearts, both of you.
It's been a long time.
It is 12 whole years.
You've grown. Oh, this is So how's Uncle Juan, huh?
Oh, he's well. Is it something for me?
Yeah, well, I kind of thought...
It is a lovely present. Thank you.
This here's one of the members of my platoon, Private Gomer Pyle.
Hey, Pink Blossom. I guess you two got a lot to talk about, so I finished cleaning up.
Hey, let me take a look, huh? Well, I just can't believe it. You're so grown up.
Yes, it happens even to pink blossoms.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, I'm so glad to see you again. Huh? Uri Nara Hwanyun Arnida.
고맙습니다. 오기에 온 구수 개쁘게 센합격입니다. You remembered.
Yeah. Come on, sit up. Well, tell me, what are your plans? You didn't say much in your letter. What are you going to do in the States?
Well, Papa Sergeant, I want to finish my education.
Good, good.
And I want to see all I can.
Fine, fine.
And I should like to marry a Marine.
Huh? Did you say marry a Marine?
Is it not a good idea, Papa Sergeant?
Well, now, hold on. Well, what's this marriage? You just got here. Besides, you're still too young. Ah, you always were a great kidder. I have to admit, you had me going there for a minute. You marry a Marine.
Excuse me, Sergeant. Just want to remind you, guard mount's ready for inspection.
Oh, yeah. No, when I give my daughter away, it's going to be to a doctor, a lawyer, a professional man, an Ivy Leaguer.
But I have known some wonderful Marines.
Yeah, well, they're not all like me. No, you marry a doctor or something. And when he comes home, you sit down, you have a martini, you ask him what happened at the office. But if you marry a Marine, what have you got in common with him? He comes home, what do you say? What's new in the jungle? But why worry about all that now? It'll be years before you even think about marriage. Besides, it's bad enough to have a Marine for a papa now, isn't it? Huh? Look, I'll be back in 10 minutes. In the meantime, you just make yourself comfortable. Boy, you sure are grown up.
Ain't that nice? I bet you're just about the happiest girl in the whole world. What's the trouble?
I cannot talk to him.
Huh?
He is so opposed to my plans.
Oh, you mustn't let what he said about the Marines upset you none. It ain't as if you're really gonna marry a Marine.
But that is the problem. I am.
Huh?
I am to be married this Sunday.
You mean this coming Sunday? Married? And to a Marine? Shazam! Hey, Susan. Did you break the news to Sergeant Carter yet about you getting married Sunday?
All week I've been trying to find some way to tell him, but I just cannot do it. I am sure it would displease him, and I do not want to displease him.
What you need some more time.
But Sunday is 2 days away, and Fred will be here this afternoon.
Fred? Is that your boyfriend's name, huh?
Yes, for me it was love at first sight. Maybe because he was so much like Sergeant Carter. Fred is a fine man, and he has a wonderful mind.
Oh, that's nice. I just know you two are really gonna be happy.
Perhaps I should postpone my plans. In my country, we are taught to respect and obey parents. Sergeant Carter is the only father I know. If he is so against this marriage, perhaps it is best I honor his wishes.
You mean you'd call off the wedding? Sue Lynn, before you do that, why don't you talk to our chaplain right here? He's a real fine feller, and I know he'd do everything on earth and heaven to help you out.
You think he would?
When people's in trouble, that's his specialty. I just know he'll have the right answer.
I will go see him. Private Gomer, perhaps you could help too.
Me? But I don't know what...
You and the sergeant appear to get on so well. I was hoping that you might prepare him. Oh, would you, Private Gomer?
Well...
Please, speak with him. See if you can get him to accept the idea of having a Marine for a son-in-law.
All right. I'll talk to the sergeant.
I know it will not be easy.
Don't you worry, Sue Lynn. You go see the chaplain, and I'll go see the sergeant right now. Gung-ho. That means everybody working together.
Yes, I know.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Sergeant. You stepping out?
Yeah. I'm taking Sue Lynn out for dinner.
Sure nice to have a daughter around, huh? So you can take her out to dinner and buy her pretty things and play with your grandchildren and eat some home-cooked meals.
What was that?
I just said how nice it'd be to eat some home-cooked meals.
Before that?
Play with your grandchildren? Well, if you're over to eat the meals, least you can do is play with the kiddies.
What is all this? She's still a kid herself. There's plenty of time. You talk like she's getting married tomorrow.
Oh, no. It won't be tomorrow, no, sir. Tomorrow's only Saturday. But it could be soon after that. Real soon.
What do you mean?
Well, it's just that she can't wait too long. Golly, she's 20 years old now. Before long, she's gonna be 30, and then 40, and then 50.
She'll get married sooner than that.
Like maybe Sunday?
Kyle, you're not making any sense. Why should her marriage be any concern of yours?
No reason. I was just thinking what a happy day it's gonna be in your life. I can just see it now. Her walking out of the church there, ever so beautiful with that dark hair and them big eyes, walking down underneath all them cross swords.
Wait a minute. Cross swords? What cross swords?
Well, you know how the Marines do when somebody gets married.
Who said there were going to be any Marines there?
Well, there have to be Marines there.
What do you mean?
Well, you gonna be there.
And that's all.
But suppose she did find somebody that she liked and he liked her. Would you stand in the way?
Can't happen.
But suppose it did. Suppose a Marine come to you and ask you for Sue Lynn's hand. What would you do?
I'd throw him out on his head is what. Now stop bugging me.
But, Sergeant,
Supposing you let me finish getting dressed and get out of here.
But, Sergeant...
Out!
You want me to take the duty now, Sarge, so you can leave?
No, there's no hurry. I'm not taking Sue Lynn out for an hour.
Yeah, but she's here now.
Yeah, where?
I just saw her over at the administration, coming out of the chaplain's office.
Chaplain's office? What is she seeing him for?
How are you, Gomer? Just fine, sir. I hope you all had better luck than I did. I tried to hint around to the sergeant about what was going to happen, but he wouldn't take to it at all.
See? What's that all about? Now, what would she and Pyle want with a chaplain?
Well, what do you usually see a chaplain about? When you're in trouble, when you get married, or when you want emergency leave?
No. No, it can't be. Say it can't be. Not to Pyle. Not to Pyle.
He told me how you felt about her marrying a Marine, but that is not for you to decide. This is her life, Carter. There is only one thing that you can do.
Kill him.
That's a very intelligent reaction, isn't it? Now, you better face it, Sergeant. This wedding is set for Sunday, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Come on, now, accept her man. Meet him halfway. I'm sure in time that you'll get to know each other and like each other.
No, I don't want to like him.
All right. Then you will lose your daughter. What have you got against this boy?
Sir, he's stealing my little girl. She's just a kid.
Sue Lynn is not a child. She is a mature woman. And in fact, she's far more capable of picking a husband than you are.
Well, sir, she doesn't know that.
I don't know why she is concerned about you. She's worried about making you unhappy, and you don't care that you're making her life miserable.
I am?
Because of you, she is ready to call this whole thing off. Carter, you're the only father she has known. Now, she wants to be married, but also she wants your approval.
Oh. I don't know.
Sergeant, Sunday could be the happiest day in your life.
That's the happiest? You don't leave me much to look forward to.
Give her your blessing. Good. I know you're doing the right thing. You have a talk with her fiancé. You'll see. In time, it'll all work out.
I guess it could be worse. She could have married a sailor.
Gonna see me, Sergeant?
Come in, come in. Sit down, son.
Thanks, Sergeant.
I wanted you to know that I've talked to the chaplain, and he told me all about the wedding. How could you do it, Pyle? How could you do it?
Well, I tried to prepare you, Sergeant.
I know. If it's what my daughter wants, I've got to learn to live with it.
I'm glad you feel that way. It's gonna make Sue Lynn very happy.
But it's tough for me to accept. For 12 years, I've reared her. I've sent her an allotment. 12 years of anguish, 12 years of sacrifice, and just like that, she's gone.
Well, that's what happens, Sergeant. They grow up and they leave you.
100 million men in this country, and look what she picks out. How could she make such a choice?
She said it was love at first sight. She said it was the resemblance to you that done it.
Oh, the resemblance to me. How much punishment do I have to take in one day?
She said she always was attracted to a good mind. Now, Sergeant, you know what they always say. You ain't losing a daughter, you're gaining a son. I've made out a list here of things that's supposed to be furnished by the bride's side of the family. That's you. Flowers, refreshments, and a cake with a Marine insignia would be real nice, and lots of throwing rice, and some cans, that's for the car.
No. There will be no flowers, no cake, no shoes, no wedding. I just made up my mind.
Huh?
I'm begging you, please, you can't marry my daughter. You can't.
I know that, Sergeant.
I'll give you anything in the world, anything you... Huh?
I ain't gonna marry your daughter.
You're not?
Oh, no.
Why did you want to marry her?
I never did.
You break her heart, and I'll break your head.
Sergeant, you got this all mixed up. It never was me. She's marrying a feller by the name of Fred Pertwee. That's who she's gonna marry all along.
Pertwee? Fred Pertwee? What is he, some kind of Main Street commando she met someplace? Pertwee? Oh, no. This I ain't gonna take. You're bad enough, but some two-bit pipsqueak recruit.
But, Sergeant...
I have him around all day. I'm not gonna have him around all night.
You hadn't even met him yet. You might like him.
I'll break him in two. No, sir. There'll be no wedding. Come in!
Sergeant Carter, I'm here with your daughter, and we...
You! You're not gonna marry my daughter, you hear me? Yes, sir. My daughter ain't gonna marry no two-bit
Papa Sergeant, the chaplain said he had spoken with you, so I brought Fred with me. I thought it was about time my two favorite men met each other.
You're, hurt, we?
Sure glad to meet you, Sergeant. Heard some mighty fine things about you. We're on our way to the Green Lantern for dinner, and we won't go without you. Got a lot of gabbing to do, so come on. Nothing keeping you here, is there?
No, nothing at all. Just a second. There is one thing. I'll be with you in just a second, huh? Come on, get with it. Find the list. Put it together, huh? Be right with you, Fred. Let's see, what was it we needed? We needed flowers. We needed a cake with an insignia on it. Old shoes. Hey, you can see why she went for him, huh? A resemblance to me. Come on, the list. Just another second, Fred. You hurry. The wedding's Sunday. We just got 2 more days. Move it.
The captain's really a nice-looking feller. Sue Lynn picked well.
Oh, I guess he's okay. My son-in-law, the captain. Well, I guess I'll get used to it in time.
I'm sure glad it worked out this way. Sue Lynn sure wanted to make you happy. That was all she cared about was you. She's a very considerate girl.
Considerate is the word. Runs in the family.
Hey, Sarge, did you really think there for a while it was me she was gonna marry, did you?
Well...
Wouldn't that have been something? You'd have been my father-in-law, and we'd have spent the rest of our lives together, you and me. Dad.
Never could happen, Pyle.
Why not?
Well, just like you said. Sue Lynn's much too considerate a girl.
You've got big plans for the day, Slater?
You know it, pal.
Where are you going?
I'm heading straight for that Watusi place, the Booze A Go-Go. There's a little dancer there named Dolores who's got big eyes for me.
Oh, yes. Is she the one in the cage?
That's right.
In a cage? What kind of place is it where they keep a person in a cage?
Well, they have to keep her in a cage, Gomer, because when she dances, she gets wild. You gotta see it to believe it, really.
Well, I don't think I'd enjoy that very much. It bothers me to see an animal in a cage, much less a human being.
Yeah, but she's happy in that cage, Gomer. She's happy. Dunk, 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 dunk.
You want to try that with your pack on?
Sorry, Sergeant.
All right, you guys, listen up. I thought it wouldn't hurt to inform you clowns that the fleet's in and it's Saturday, and that means crowds and horsing and trouble, which I want you to stay out of. Is that clear?
Aye, Sergeant.
Good. It's you. Slater, you smell like a man with ambitions to take over the town, so maybe you better be extra careful.
Oh, no, not me, Sarge. I got a date all right, but no cavorting with a bunch.
Oh, really? Tell us about it.
Oh, well, it's just a girl.
Just a girl? Not for you, Slater.
Matter of fact, Sarge, she is something special. In fact, she's beautiful, really beautiful.
And you know where she works? In a cage? Tell the sergeant about how she works in a cage.
Gomer.
Of course she works in a cage. She also eats and sleeps in a cage because she's a beast. You guys kill me, you know that? With your phony stories about your big dates? Why can't you just say you're going into town, have a couple of beers, go bowling, and leave it at that? Oh, no. You gotta give each other them snow jobs about them gorgeous dames.
Sergeant Carter, would you care to hear what I'm going to do today?
No.
I'm going up to Hollywood. I'm going to take one of them bus tours and see all the movie stars' homes.
That's thrilling, Pyle. Absolutely thrilling.
I've been meaning to do that for the longest kind of time.
You hear that? Now, there's a date I can believe. Him I can believe.
You're welcome to come along if you'd care to.
No, Pyle. But you know what? I've got to respect a man who tells the truth.
Thank you, Sergeant Carter. It's a real nice thing to say. It really is.
Because I believe that's really what you're going to do. Just what you said.
Oh, I am, Sergeant, I am. Why, is it beginning to sound good to you now? Because if it is, then
No,
I'll be proud.
I said no. Now, the rest of you guys, I got just 2 words for you for your liberty. Watch it.
Hey, you want to go on that tour with me?
Gomer, have you forgotten? Dolores in the cage? See you later, pal. Oh, don't forget to say hello to Vera Ruber Ralston and all the gang.
I can always tell when you're pulling my leg, Duke. You get that insincere look in your eyes.
Yeah, well, don't go to any of those Hollywood parties. You can't afford the scandal.
Just look at him. Just look at your eyes. How insincere.
Now on Foothill Road in fabulous Beverly Hills. On the left, we see the beautiful home of that famous piano-playing star, Liberace.
Do you know what I heard? He has a swimming pool shaped just like a piano. And his bed is shaped like a piano also.
Really?
You see, his whole life is so involved in piano and piano playing.
And on this same street, we see the home of the very glamorous and popular young movie star, Tina Tracy.
Tina Tracy? Well, I've seen every one of her pictures. Excuse me, ma'am, I gotta speak to the driver. Driver, would you do me a favor?
Sorry, no refunds.
Oh, it's not that. I'm having a wonderful time. I was just wondering if you'd stop for a second while I got a picture of Tina Tracy's house. It'd mean a lot to me. It really would.
Yeah, well, okay, you'll be in a serviceman. But just a second, I got a schedule to keep.
Thank you.
Where'd he go, anyway? If he's gonna leave the tour, he could at least said goodbye.
Now I won't get to see Randolph Scott's house. Hey, ma'am. I didn't mean to barge in like this, but the sightseeing bus I was riding on went off and left me. I'm awful sorry. I hope you'll excuse me.
Oh, that's all right. Where are you stationed, Private?
Camp Henderson. This sure is a beautiful place. She sure is a lucky girl.
Who is?
Lady you work for, Tina Tracy. You must be her maid.
Well, no, at the moment I'm more like her gardener.
Really and truly? I don't think I ever met a professional lady gardener before.
You know, come to think of it, neither have I.
Well, sure been nice talking to you. If you'll excuse me now, guess I better be going. I don't know why that bus didn't wait on me.
What made you get off of it in the first place?
Was to take pictures of my favorite movie star's home.
Tina Tracy's your favorite movie star?
Yes, ma'am. I bet I've seen every one of her pictures.
Really? Everyone?
I sure have, starting with Motorcycle Madness, What's New Tomboy, and I Was a Teenage Coot.
Well, those were some time ago.
Yes, ma'am, but I've seen her latest picture, too. The Monster Who Hated Pennsylvania. I bet I've seen that 8 times.
Well, you really are a fan, aren't you?
I really am.
Well, I'm very glad to know you. I'm Tina Tracy.
You're not.
Well, I certainly am.
You're not spoofing me, are you, ma'am?
No. Here, I'll prove it to you. Remember this scene? General, the monster's wiped out Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. You've just got to stop him before he reaches Reading. That's my hometown.
Golly! You are Tina Tracy. Golly! Well, I don't know why I didn't recognize you right off, but you look so different with that hat and glasses and everything.
Well, you haven't told me your name yet.
Gomer Pyle.
Well, Gomer, now that we've been properly introduced, would you like to come up to the house and have a nice tall glass of lemonade?
Yes, ma'am. That'd be real nice.
Here you are, Gomer. Another glass of lemonade.
Thank you, ma'am. This makes 3 of them already. Golly. If the folks back home could just see me now, sitting here talking to a real movie star. That reminds me. Did you know that back home in Mayberry, they used to call you the Annie Ruth Collins of Hollywood?
No, I didn't.
Well, I'll tell you how it happened. You remember a movie you was in called Private Hospital?
Mm-hmm.
Remember you was in love with this married doctor with the 3 children? Well, the exact same situation happened to Annie Ruth back in Mayberry. Only thing, he wasn't a doctor, he was a veterinarian. And she didn't give him up like you did in the movie. No, sirree. She married this veterinarian right after his wife run off with this traveling salesman. And now the doctor drinks quite a bit, and Annie Ruth has to take care of the 3 children. Poor thing.
Tell me more, Gomer.
Oh, a miserable...
I take it things didn't work out exactly the way you'd planned, Slater. It never fails. When you over-anticipate, you're bound to be disappointed.
Thanks a lot, Hummel.
Didn't you get to see that Watusi dancer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw her.
Well, what happened?
She invited me home to meet her family.
Oh, that sounds very nice.
Her husband and 2 kids. I don't know why I even bother going into town. I could have more fun doing my laundry.
Boy, have I got something to tell you. Wait till you hear this. You know that Hollywood tour I went on? Well, I had one of the best times I've ever had in my whole life. Guess who I spent the afternoon with? Come on, guess.
I don't know, Gomer.
You'll never guess in a million years, but guess anyway.
I give up.
You'll never guess.
Gomer, I give up.
Okay, then I'll tell you. I spent the whole afternoon with Tina Tracy. What do you think about that?
How long did it take you to think that one up?
She is, without a doubt, one of the nicest, sweetest girls I ever met in my whole life. Right away, she offered me this nice tall drink. You mean you don't believe me?
Gomer, I'm not in the mood for jokes. Can you knock it off?
But this is no joke, Duke, honest. And I've saved the best part for last. She told me to come back tomorrow for a barbecue, and I could ask a few of my buddies.
Oh, sure. And she'll fill the pool with champagne for swimming.
You mean you don't believe me?
Gomer, it's just a little far-fetched. Just a little.
Well, I'm surprised at you, Duke. I really am. You're supposed to be my best friend. Have I ever told you a fib my whole life?
No, but there's always a first time.
Well, I'll tell you exactly. I got off of this tour bus to take a picture of Tina Tracy's house, and there she was. And she is, without a doubt, one of the nicest...
You really met her? You really met her?
I'm surprised at you, Duke. If I said I did, I did.
Well, I mean, it's just like a thing like that happens to a serviceman like once in 1,000 times, and who'd ever figure you to be so lucky?
Well, I was, and like I said, she told me to bring some of my buddies
I'll
over.
go.
And it's all set. The 3 of us will go up to Hollywood tomorrow.
The 3 of us? Who's the 3rd?
Well, Sergeant Carter, of course.
What do you want to ask him for?
Well, he's my buddy, too, isn't he? I'll go over there first thing in the morning and ask him, and he won't be like you. He'll believe me right off like he always does.
Swear.
But it's the truth, Sergeant.
Pyle, you mean to stand there and tell me that you spent a whole afternoon with a sex pot like Tina Tracy?
I did, Sergeant. I really did. But she ain't what you said she was. She's a nice, wholesome girl.
Okay, Pyle. To you, she's a nice, wholesome girl.
But you do believe me, don't you?
Of course. Did I ever doubt you?
Then you'll come?
Well...
Please say you'll come.
Well, you clowns may not even know how to behave. You probably need someone along to show you how to behave in a classy house. Okay. But for just one reason, to supervise.
Golly, thank you, Sergeant.
Okay, who else is coming?
Well, just so far, it's me and you and Duke. And the corporal, if he wants to.
Good. No riffraff. You had to open your big mouth, huh, Pyle? Look at all them guys.
I had to ask the fellers in my barracks, Sergeant. I'm sure she won't mind.
Well. So this is how the other half lives.
Shut up. All right, you guys, hold it down. Now remember, don't do or say anything that's going to embarrass me. If you got any doubt about what's the proper etiquette, check with me. Don't shake hands with her, whatever you do, and watch them cigarette butts.
Aye, sir.
Let's go. Come on. Hold it back. You sure she's home, Pyle?
She's expecting me to be here, she said.
Yes?
Good afternoon, sir. My buddies and I are here to see Miss Tracy.
I'm sorry, Miss Tracy is not at home and is not expected.
But she's expecting us.
I'm afraid that's not likely. Miss Tracy has been in Europe. Good day, gentlemen.
Okay, Pyle, what's the gang?
Well, I don't know, Sergeant.
What is this, April Fool? It ain't even April. Very funny, Pyle, very funny. But you know what? I don't like practical jokes, and I don't like you. And when I get you back to the base, I've got a few jokes of my own.
I was really here yesterday, and she said bye. Wait a minute, Sergeant. How am I going to get back to the base?
You made up a movie star and make up a car.
Hey, Miss Tracy. Boy, am I glad to see you.
I thought you were going to bring some of your friends with you.
I did.
Well, where are they?
Well, they left.
They left? Why?
Well, my buddies and I went up and knocked on the door, and this feller come out and said that you was in Europe and he didn't know when you'd be back.
Oh, Gomer, I'm so sorry. Stevens was just trying to protect me. I should have told him. Oh, I feel terrible. Do you suppose we could call them and explain?
Well, I don't think that'd do any good since they thought I made it up about meeting you and all anyway. Now I'm sure they think I'm some kind of a liar.
Oh, Gomer, I'm so sorry.
Oh, Miss Tracy.
Oh, Stevens.
Is everything all right, Miss Tracy?
Oh, Private Pyle's a friend of mine. Could you help him with the packages, please?
I told you I was expecting.
Any luck, Gomer?
I'm trying again. They should be back by now. Hello? Corporal Ball? Could I speak to Sergeant Carter?
It's Pyle. He wants to talk to you.
Are you kidding? Hang up.
What is it this time, Baron Munchausen?
Hang up.
Corporal Ball, would you tell Sergeant Carter that I'm sitting right here at Miss Tracy's house and that she feels real bad about missing you all?
What do you think? We're a couple of jerks? How many times do you think we're going to fall for that crummy gag?
Hang up.
But I tell you, she's standing right here in a bathing suit, getting ready to go for a swim, and she wants you all to come back.
Here, give me the phone. I'll talk to him.
He says he's with her now and that she's wearing a bathing suit.
Ask him what he's drinking. Hang up. Just hang up.
Wait a minute. Wait just 1 minute. Hello? Hello? He hung up. Guess they still don't believe me.
Oh, Gomer, I'm so sorry. Well, look, don't feel so bad. You tried.
I really did. But I can't blame them for not believing me.
Well, there's nothing you can do about it now. Look, would you like to take a swim? There's some extra trunks in the cabana.
Well, thank you kindly, Miss Tracy, but I got an idea. Would it be all right with you if I just went back to the camp and fetched my buddies?
Well, sure, Gomer, but isn't it a lot of trouble? I mean, you'll be hours.
Well, yeah, but I just wouldn't feel comfortable swimming here while back at the camp they was doubting me. So I'll just rush on back and straighten things out, and we'll see you later.
Oh, Gomer, you sure are the conscientious one.
Is Pyle back yet?
Not yet, Sergeant.
Well, I want to talk to him. I want to talk to him real good, and then I want to talk to you guys.
Why? What did we do?
Let me tell you something about characters like Pyle. When these truthful, never tell a lie guys like him go, they go all the way just like that. I've seen it happen before. And you know whose fault it is? You guys.
How come?
It's psychological, and you guys are to blame.
I don't get it.
I think I know where the sergeant is going.
Shut up, Hummel. Look, every weekend, Pyle listens to you guys bullying each other about the big deals you got cooking in town. He's getting an inferiority complex. So what does he do? He cooks up a big deal of his own to impress everybody. Only it's all in his head, see?
In other words, he's fantasizing.
What?
You think so, Sarge? You think it's all in his head?
I know it is. And when I see him, I'm...
Hey, Sergeant Carter, I'm glad you're here. Guess what?
What, Pyle?
It couldn't have been more than 10 seconds when Miss Tracy showed up.
Huh? Pyle, listen to me. You're fantasizing, and it's got to stop, okay?
But it's the truth. She only went shopping and she forgot to tell Mr. Stevens to expect us. She was sorry she could be about the mix-up. She sent me here to fetch you back to her house. You don't believe me neither, do you? All right, I tell you what I'm going to do. Listen to this. I'm going to prove to you I've been telling the truth. I'm going to call her up and let you talk to her. She gave me her phone number, so you and the fellers come on with me to the day room, and I'm going to call her.
Gomer.
Please, Duke, you just got to believe me. You above everybody else. You just got to.
Okay.
You're going to be apologizing to me in about 3 minutes. You just wait and see.
Curious. Very curious.
Now what is it, Gomer?
I'm looking for the piece of paper with the phone number on it. Here it is.
It's open, it's open. What are you doing here, Pyle? What do you want?
Sergeant Carter, I know you're mad at me, but could I talk to you for a minute?
No.
But I've got some good news for you, Sergeant.
You being transferred?
Oh, no, this is good news. I just talked to Miss Tracy on the phone.
Take it easy, Vince. Don't let him aggravate you.
You're right, Boyle. Pyle, get out of here.
But listen, Sergeant, she's coming down here to pick us all up and take us home with her. She's coming here to the base.
Pyle!
She is. She really is.
Oh. Oh, then maybe I better get ready for her.
Oh, one more thing, Sergeant. Do I have your permission to bring Miss Tracy on the base?
Of course, Pyle, of course. Bring her anywhere you want. Bring her to the barracks. I'll be there to welcome her.
Thank you, Sergeant. I'm glad we're buddies again. You do believe me.
Oh, of course.
He says he's going to bring her here. You think maybe this time?
Are you nuts, Boyle? He's caught up in a pack of lies. He'll come up with another excuse.
You think he's flipped or something?
I don't know, but it's time for the cure. Come on.
Where are we going?
To the barracks.
What for?
Look, I don't know what this clown has cooked up, but this time, when he comes in with his latest excuse for why she couldn't make it, we'll be ready for him.
Did you have any trouble finding a place, Miss Tracy?
Oh, not a bit. In fact, it was a very nice ride. And I'm glad we're going to get this whole thing straightened out once and for all.
The fellas should be ready now. They were getting all spiffed up when I left.
Did they finally believe you?
Well, it took a lot of doing, but I guess they finally did. My, don't you look pretty? Ain't they gonna be surprised? Well, here we are.
Who is it?
It's me, Gomer. All right to come in?
Oh, sure, Pyle. Come on in. Eyes, hey! Could I speak to you men a moment? Excuse us, ladies. All right, you guys, hold it down, will you? No raucous laughing. This ain't a beer joint. You're in the big time now, so act accordingly. No running and no horsing around the pool.
We're just having fun, Sarge.
Have all the fun you like, but use a little decorum, understand? I don't want to be embarrassed.
Okay, Sarge.
Hold it down on the eats, huh, fellas? One handful at a time? You'd think you were starving the way you guys are going at it.
That's so funny, Gomer.
Hey, Sergeant.
Huh? A beautiful party, Miss Tracy. My compliments.
Well, thank you, Sergeant. Gomer here was just telling me how wonderful you've been to us.
Well, I do what I can for all the men, Miss Tracy. They're like a bunch of kids, you know. They need constant looking after.
We're sure lucky to have somebody like Sergeant Carter. There ain't nothing he doesn't know.
Isn't nothing, Pyle. Isn't. Not ain't.
And Miss Tracy, he's watching us all the time.
Yes, I have to keep my eye on him every minute. You never can tell when one of them's going to do something foolish.
Men, I just figured out why the Marines sing on their way to battle.
Yeah, why is that?
That's right. Because after boot camp, any kind of war is like a vacation.
Boy, you ain't kidding.
Oh, it ain't all that bad. That obstacle course is good for us.
Oh, well, you get a load of this. Gomer likes the obstacle course. Hey, Gomer, what happened to Hemsley?
Last time I seen him, he was bouncing on that log, going over the mud hole. I wonder if he made it.
Oh.
He didn't make it.
Hold it, young man. There seems to be a speck of dust on your lapel.
Don't let it bother you, Hensley. At least this way you won't get sunburned.
Boy. I don't know. After all those John Wayne movies, I thought we'd be just walking around all day in a sharp blue uniform with a girl on each arm.
A girl? Ha! They won't even let us have a candy bar.
Gomer, if they gave you your choice right now, a girl or a candy bar, which one would you take?
What kind of candy bar?
Oh, brother. Listen to those clowns in there. Why don't I go in and chew them out real quick?
Wait a minute. 3 times over the obstacle course and they still got strength enough to laugh and feel good, leave them alone. That's a good group of people in there. Lots of spirit and snap. I like that. You know, Corporal, they got possibilities. That's a good group. Real good group.
10, hut!
This platoon is the sorriest bunch of knuckleheads I've ever had the agony of working with. If you don't start snapping to and shape up, there ain't the slightest possibility that any of you will even last a week. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
What?
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you people averaged 5.5 minutes this afternoon on the obstacle course. That's not bad. Not bad at all. For an old ladies knitting team. But Marines do that course in under 4 minutes. So tomorrow you will do it better and faster. And Private Pyle. Good old happy Private Pyle. Is there something funny about all this, Pyle? Is there? Do you find the obstacle course funny?
No, sir.
Then explain why you got a big, stupid grin on your face all the time you're running the obstacle course.
Well, sir, it's kind of hard to explain.
Try.
Well, sir, there I am doing it, and there all my buddies are. They're doing it too, and we're all doing it together. I don't know.
That's it? That's why you're grinning?
Yes, sir. It's what the Marine guidebooks calls the spirit de corps. That means spirit of the corps.
I know what it means. And it doesn't mean grinning when you're working. When you work, you work. And you don't grin on my time. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Will you remember that?
Yes, sir. Grin after lights out only.
All right. Now, you people, listen up.
Sir, Private Harry Phillips requests permission to speak to drill instructor, sir.
Get that cover off.
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you want?
Sir, Private Harry Phillips reporting as assigned to platoon 318.
You've been transferred to this platoon?
Yes, sir.
All right, grab a rack. Remember, tomorrow you will run that obstacle course in 4 minutes flat. And if you do it real nice, I might even let you do it with full field packs on your back. As you work.
Sir.
What is it now?
Permission to get my gear. It's in the duty hut, sir.
Move it. Phillips guy, we would have to get him.
You know him?
I know about him. I heard he's a real troublemaker. He's goofed up in 2 platoons already.
Why don't we straighten him out in advance then? Really lay down the law.
I don't want him fouling up this platoon. It's too good a group.
Let's tell him.
Wait a minute.
Move it!
On second thought, let the platoon straighten him out.
Huh?
That's better if they do it. They gotta live with the guy. After all, I'm not always around to straighten out their problems for them.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. You know what that's called? Strategy.
Hey, there's my bunk.
Did you hear what he said? It's his bunk.
I expect I didn't make myself clear. There's my bunk.
Can't you get another one?
I suppose so. But I picked this one out special. On account of it's just 11 steps from the door. Same as my bed in the filling station back home.
You don't say.
Uh-huh. The other night, a car honked its horn going down the highway. Don't you know I heard it? Got up, automatic, walked them 11 steps right out that door.
But this racket do me nice. You see, I had a bunk in the same exact spot in the other barracks.
Is that a fact?
And now I'm in a strange place.
Well, you take it then. Shoot, I can find another.
Good.
Clean forgot my manners. Didn't introduce myself. I'm Gomer Pyle. Heard the sergeant say you're Harry Phillips.
Alert. Very alert.
You'll like this platoon, Harry. It's a great bunch of guys. Talk about a sprit de corps. They've really got it. You might as well meet some of them now. This here's Duke. And that's Vern Williams. Vern here's a natural-born athlete. There's Joey Lombardi. His folks come all the way from Naples, Italy. That's an Italian place. He talks it, too. Hey, Joey, say something in Italian.
Come on, Gomer.
He taught me how to say Mamma Mia. That means my mama. Italians say that a lot.
How about that?
Well, I guess I better go make up my bunk. Go ahead and meet some of the other fellas, Harry.
Hey, Gomer, you don't have to give that creep your bunk.
Oh, I expect one's as good as another. Besides him being new here, we ought to do our best to make him feel at home.
Why?
Well, he is new here, and I expect he's shy.
Hey, Pyle!
Shy, huh? It's pretty pushy for a guy who's shy.
Oh, that's just his way. It's to help him get over his being shy.
Huh?
You see, some folks who are shy try to fool you into thinking they ain't by making a lot of noise. Now, that's fact.
Gomer, you should have been a psychiatrist.
A what?
A doctor who talks to people about their problems.
Not me. I'm too shy.
You got a real good stroke there, Gomer.
Gosh, it's real kind of you to say.
I've been watching. It's really slick.
Shoot. Raking's just raking. Nothing to it.
Not the way you do it. Someday when you get a chance, you think you show me how?
I'll show you now if you like.
You think you got time?
It's nothing much but a reach and pull, all sort of gradual like. Reach and pull, reach and pull. Whenever you do it smooth, it's less tiring.
It sure is.
Or you can hum under your breath. Whenever I rake, I find myself humming under my breath. You know what goes real good with it? Seesaw Marjorie doll.
No.
Uh-huh. What? Seesaw Marjorie doll. Jack shall have a new master. He shall make but a penny a day because he can't work any faster.
Good.
You can do other songs with it, too. Sometimes I do hymns. Like When the Roll is Called Up Yonder or Beulah Land.
Uh-huh. Good idea. Don't miss that corner down there.
Sometimes when I'm raking, I squint my eyes, and it's just like I was flying in an airplane real high over fields that's just been plowed.
Right. It does. I think I'm catching on, Gomer.
Hey, that's it. You got it.
Do you call this area policed? Well, do you?
No, sir.
Your orders were to rake it, weren't they?
Yes, sir.
Then why didn't you rake it? Any reason?
No, sir.
Since you've been saving your strength, when you finish here, you can move that sand pile over there to the other side of the field, bucket by bucket. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, get busy. Rest of you people, secure the quarters.
When the roll is hauled up yonder, when the roll is hauled up yonder, when the roll... Hey, Joey.
Gomer, you never learn. You sure let yourself get taken in. You know what kind of a crumb that Phillips guy is? I mean, he got you into this.
Well, I will admit he makes it kind of hard to have faith in him, but I say we give him the benefit of the doubt.
Why, Gomer? What for?
Well, there's just some people that you can't give up on. Like this feller back home, Lemuel Spurgeon. Well, he was real mean and he done ugly things, and everybody had give up on him except his mama. Then he done this real bad thing and they sent him off to prison, but his mama still had faith in him. But while he was in prison, he decided he'd take up a trade. And do you know something? Today, Lemuel Spurgeon is one of the finest cabinet makers in the state penitentiary. All because his mama had faith in him. Same with Harry Phillips. He may turn out.
Yeah, but in the meantime, buddy, you don't have to be his patsy. He's playing you for a sucker.
Shh, here he comes now, Joey.
Norm, don't let him put any more over on you.
Why don't I just ask him if he's trying to make a sucker out of me?
Gomer, you
Hey, Harry?
Wow, Gomer, you working hard?
There's something I want to ask you, and I want you to tell me the truth. Are you trying to make a sucker out of me?
Huh?
Well, some of the fellers in the platoon, and I ain't mentioning no names, maybe that's what you're trying to do, is play me for a sucker. Are you?
Well, what if I am?
Huh?
I mean, somebody's got to be the patsy. So why shouldn't it be you? Does that answer your question?
Okay, now you heard him. Now you know. Look, there's only one way you're gonna get that jerk off your back. The next time he tries to pull something on you, let him have it good, right in the lavans.
You mean fight him?
Well, you're not gonna keep taking that stuff from him, are you?
Yeah, but fight.
Yes, let him have it good. Believe me, Gomer.
take him?
Sure, I know the type. He don't rile easy, but when he blows, look out.
Well, this is as good a place as any. Would you step a touch closer?
This is close enough.
Well, I don't want the fellers inside to hear.
Hear what?
Well, what I got to say. That's the reason I asked you to step out here. I thought it'd be more private-like to talk. I didn't want to embarrass you by saying this in front of the other fellers. But, Harry, to be out and out with it, there are them here that don't think that you've been behaving yourself too attractively. Now, you may have the best reason in the world for being so contrary since you come here. Whether it was the haircut or the tight shoes, or whether it's the world situation or a lumpy pillow you've been sleeping on, the fact remains is you got to change your ways. Now, a smart fella like you ought to be able to figure that out. But mainly, the thing I wanted to say is there's still a bright side to this. You can make up for everything. 1, you got to start doing your own chores. 2, you got to quit lying on other folks' bunks. 3, you got to stop picking fights with little Joey. And let me see if there's a 4th one. No. Well, anyway, just behave yourself more attractively. Well, that's all.
Wait a minute. You asked me out here to talk?
Yeah. Would you like me to go over them again? 1.
No, I got it.
Good. Believe me, I don't like this any more than you do. But it was bound to come to this sooner or later. Why, things was getting so bad we was about to lose our spread decorums. You know what that means?
I do. Gomer, I gotta admit it. I can't figure you out. I don't know what you're more of, dumb or chicken.
He asked him out for a little talk. My strategy didn't work.
Oh, that was the strategy?
That's right. I knew Pyle didn't mess up his bunk. And there was that guy Phillips. I figured if I gigged him for it, then he'd finally stand up to Phillips. That's strategy.
But it didn't work.
I know. I just said that. Wait a minute. I know why he didn't fight. Pyle is a book recruit. He didn't want to go against regulations. I can set his mind easy on that. Go get him.
You can't tell one recruit to fight another.
I'm not going to tell him to fight him. I'm going to do it another way. Strategy. Pyle, I've been noticing this thing between you and Phillips, and I don't like it one bit. But I ain't got time to play nursemaid to all you people. Now, some of these things you got to take care of yourself. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, for the most part, the Corps takes a dim view of recruits brawling and settling their problems among themselves. But there are times when I am not around. Do I have to say any more?
No, sir. I remember what you said. I promise there won't be no fighting of any sort whatever.
How's that?
Well, sir, I'm ashamed to say this, but you got me here right in the nick of time. That feller had me so riled up from a talk we had, I'd most likely be tangling with him right this minute if you hadn't set me straight.
You mean you were going to...
What's more, I'll make sure that none of the other fellers lay a hand on him neither. You and my daddy say the same thing. There ain't one fight in a million that accomplishes nothing. I remember, sir.
All right, Pyle. All right, just go.
Sir? Did I say something wrong?
Just go, go, go!
I said something wrong.
Well, your strategy didn't work again.
You shut up! What that knucklehead doesn't understand is he'd be doing Phillips a favor.
How do you figure?
A guy like Phillips has got to get it drilled into him that nobody but nobody's going to be his patsy. Once he finds that out, he'll settle down and be a good recruit. He'll solve a problem for himself and for the whole platoon. Right now, Pyle's the only one that can do that. You people will now pair up for bayonet fighting using the pugil sticks. This pugil stick represents your rifle. The end with the stripe on it is the bayonet. The plain end is the butt of your rifle. Now remember, From the on-guard position, you can make 5 attack movements. Corporal? The slash, hack! The jab, hack! The vertical butt stroke, hack! The horizontal butt stroke, flat! The smash, hack, hack! Thank you, Corporal. Now, first 2 people. Phillips. And...
Sergeant, may I?
Not now, Pyle.
Please, sir.
Are you sure, Pyle? Don't you want to observe a little first?
No, sir. I know what I'm doing. I want to. I really want to.
All right. Suit up. Now, you people remember, there are 5 attack movements you can make from the on-guard position. The slash, the jab, the vertical butt stroke, the horizontal butt stroke, and the smash. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. You 2 men ready? All right, move back, give them room.
Okay, Gomer, take it easy.
On guard.
Watch out now, Gomer. Go for it.
Watch out, boys. Take it easy. Watch out. It's hard. Watch out. Keep on dancing around, Gomer. Don't let him hit you. Don't let him hit you solid. Watch out now, Gomer.
I'm doing this for your own good, Harry.
Come on, Gomer. Now get on it. Come on, baby. Come on, Gomer. Come on, baby. Come on, Gomer. That's it. Hey. Come on.
Like I say, Harry, I'm doing this for your own good. It'll make you a better recruit.
Come on, Gomer. Get him again. One more. Get him over.
All right, Phillips, you've had it. Okay, Lombardi, let's see how you make out.
Watch him, Joey.
Yeah, watch him, Gomer.
Hey, Joey.
Get out of here. I don't get it, Pyle. How come you can knock that Phillips flat and yet you can't even handle that little Lombardi guy?
Well, sir, you see, the big feller needed a lesson, and the little feller didn't. Hey, Harry. Just wanted to tell you I'm sorry about that bayonet practice. The fact is,
shut up.
What are you doing, Pyle? Daydreaming? What's the matter with you?
Sir, can I ask you a question?
What is it?
Well, wasn't it your belief that once Harry Phillips got himself knocked down a few times, he'd be a better recruit?
That's right.
And once that was accomplished, why, I'd solve things around here more or less?
That's right.
Well, sir, if you don't mind my saying so, it ain't solved nothing. Harry Phillips is still as mean as he can be.
Nah, you're wrong, Pyle. It did solve something.
Sir?
For one thing, he's being transferred to another platoon. As for making him a better recruit, well, one knock on one afternoon ain't gonna do it. But if somebody else in his next platoon can take up where you left off, then somebody else after him, well, who knows?
He might even get a esprit de corps, mightn't he?
That's right. He might even get the esprit de corps.
This is ridiculous. It's like riding on a yo-yo.
If we don't get to that island we're supposed to take pretty soon, we'll be finishing these war games in sickbay.
Hey, where's Gomer?
He's probably up on the deck leaning over the rail. That poor country boy's never been on a ship in his life.
Hey, fellas. Boy, that ocean's sure rough out there today.
Oh, Gomer, we were just... What's that smell?
Must be a scarlet pickle. I was just down in the kitchen to get a snack, and they got all kinds of food left over. I wonder why.
Gomer, either swallow that thing fast or get out of here.
Are you feeling poorly, dude? That's a shame. Actually, if you got the miseries, garlic pickle would be good for you. You don't know why? Count of garlic's a herb, and herbs is generally very good for you. Did you know that?
No, I'll remember it.
Did you know that herbs is generally good for you?
All right, you people, everybody topside. It's our turn to get the deck ship shape. Now, I want everybody... What's that smell? Pyle, what are you eating?
Garlic pickle. It's real fresh and crispy on bite.
No. All right, out of them bunks.
They're feeling poorly today, Sergeant.
Well, I'm real sorry to hear about that. I would have arranged a smoother trip, but there was no more space left on the Queen Mary. Come on, move it, move it! I said move it. Move, 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 move! Out, 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 out!
I sure hate to see them suffer, though. I'm glad you're all right, though. But I suppose you made so many of these trips that you're used to it. Sure you don't want to bite?
No.
On account of garlic is a herb, and herbs is good for you. But I don't guess you got a use for a garlic pickle, have you, Sergeant?
No, get out of here. Come on, push them ups like you meant it. Get a little muscle behind it. Come on, move it. Move, 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 move.
Rub-a-dub-dub, Marines in a tub. Rub-a-dub-dub, Marines in a tub. Rub-a-dub-dub. I'm sorry. I was just trying to cheer you up.
Hey, what's this? What's this? Your men don't seem to have their hearts in their work today, Sergeant. What's the matter? The nasty waves too much for them?
There ain't nothing the matter with my men. They're all in perfect shape.
Yeah, I can see that. They're all a nice, healthy shade of green. Kind of an aqua. Aquamarines. Hey, aquamarines. I just made that up.
Funny.
I didn't stop by to chat. You wanted down the briefing room.
Okay. All right, you people. I don't want nobody going below until this deck is spotless. You hear me? Carry on.
Aquamarines.
This is where we hit the beach in this exercise. We'll be making the landing operations at 0700 tomorrow morning. However, before we move in, I want the island reconnoitered for troop displacement, strength, etc. Sergeant Carter, I'd like you to lead the reconnaissance patrol.
Aye, aye, sir.
Take 3 men with you. We'll put you ashore just after dawn. We expect early morning fog, so you should have good concealment.
Yes, sir.
Now, it's vital that you get the information back to us as quickly as possible so we can make adjustments in our deployment. We have to make those landings no later than 0700.
That's right. A delay could be disastrous. There's been an enemy sub stalking our task force for days, and they've already recorded 6 kills. If we lose many more ships, we may not have enough of a force left to make the landing.
So you see the importance of speed, Sergeant.
Yes, sir. It'll be done, sir.
Simpson, you'll arrange for a boat for Sergeant Carter and his men.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's it. Good luck.
So they picked you to be the big hero, huh? You think you can handle it?
Just get the boat, Navy. The Marines will take care of the rest.
You mean aquamarines?
So you can see how important this patrol is. It'll be like spearheading the whole invasion. Now, I could take 3 men myself, but I'd rather have volunteers.
I'll volunteer, Sergeant.
Okay, men, who wants to go? Let's hear it.
I'll be glad to go.
Come on, I need 3 men. Okay, that's 1. Now, I need 2 more.
I'll go, Sergeant.
All right, who else? Who else, huh?
Sarge, I'll...
Okay, Lombardi, you're in. Okay, now I need 1 more, just 1 more.
I'll go.
Come on, 1 more.
I'll go.
Okay, that makes it 3. Now, I'll want to get together with the 3 of you for a briefing session before...
It just ain't fair, Sergeant. It just ain't fair.
Kyle, are you talking to me?
Well, I don't mean to be disrespectful, sir, but I was the first person that raised my hand. I volunteered first. It just ain't fair that you won't take me.
Really? Well, for your information, this is a very important mission, and I gotta have men I can depend on.
You can depend on me, Sergeant, honest. Please let me go, please.
Knock it off, Pyle. I got my 3 men. Hit-hut!
As you were. Sergeant.
Yes, sir?
I need 9 of your men for the ammo detail tomorrow morning. They'll be loading ammo and explosives on the landing craft.
Aye, sir. You'll have them.
They'll report to me at 0600, sharp.
Aye, sir. Okay. Your men not going on a patrol, report to Lieutenant Wilson in the morning. Remember, that's a very delicate job, handling ammo and high explosives. One wrong move and you can blow up the whole ship. So work careful, watch your step, and Pyle, I think you better come with me after all. I changed my mind, Pyle. You're going with me. You go on the ammo detail.
Oh, thank you, Sergeant Carter, thank you.
Pyle, you just better be on the ball, that's all.
Don't worry, Sergeant. I'll be a credit to the corps.
Now, we gotta pull this off, and we gotta pull it off without a hitch, and we gotta make it fast. We don't want our ships waiting out there like sitting ducks. You all heard about that enemy sub that's been scoring one kill after another? Well, we gotta make that landing before he can do any more damage. So you men going on the patrol, get your gear and ammo together, get your weapons clean. I'll see you again before we go in.
Sergeant Carter?
Yeah?
I just wanted to tell you, you won't regret taking me along. Thanks to your fine training, I'm ready for action now. All the learning is over. From now on, it's gung-ho. And it's all because of you, Sergeant.
Okay, lower away. Well, like they say in all the war pictures, I wish I was going with you, Sergeant.
Why don't you go wash out a few things? Okay, let's go, men.
Oh, get 'em, Leatherneck.
Easy does it, boys.
Well, what are you doing, Pyle?
Just looking for a place to say it.
Well, find it and sit.
Yes, sir.
All right, get the oars out. What are you doing now, Pyle?
I was gonna put my bayonet on the rifle. I want to be ready when we hit the beach.
There's plenty of time for that later. Put it back.
Yes, sir.
Hey, be careful. Those things got points on them. Did they tell you about that? Hey, watch out. It gets a little deeper around there. Watch out for the sharks, Sergeant. Seems we had a little accident, didn't we? Did we have to abandon ship?
All right, get below.
I sure am sorry, Sergeant, but it wasn't my fault. You see, the boat started to rock.
Don't talk, Pyle. Just don't talk. Now, what are you standing around for? Get below and get changed.
But, Sergeant...
Come on, move it. I said get below and get changed.
That's okay, Sergeant. We have a lot more boats. That's what we're here for. Get another boat.
Coming right up.
Sergeant, I did want to tell you how sorry I am, and I am sorry, but it was the funniest thing the way that bayonet just stuck into that rail.
Yeah, wasn't it, though? Look how I'm still laughing.
I can't blame you one bit for being angry. No, sir.
Will you knock it off, Pyle, and start changing? I don't want to hear no more about that bayonet or that raft. Now, get changed.
Right, Sergeant. Boy, Sergeant, you know that water sure is salty, ain't it?
Change!
All yours, Sergeant. If at first you don't succeed.
Come on, let's go. Get your foot off my head. Whatever you do, Pyle, don't touch that bayonet. Just leave it alone.
Oh, don't worry, Sergeant. There ain't a chance in the world that happening again. You see, I put my bayonet over here by my flare gun, and it'd be in...
I knew it might be a bit of a problem making it to the beach, but I didn't think there'd be so much trouble getting started.
I'm sorry, sir.
We're losing precious time. How fast can we get another boat?
Just a few minutes, sir.
I trust this will be the last boat necessary.
Don't worry, sir. We'll make it this time.
Let's hope so.
Aye, sir. Let's get below.
All right, get another boat from the starboard side on a double.
Yeah, once again. Dick, let's go.
Well, I'm sure glad I didn't take a shower this morning, aren't you?
I sure am sorry, Sergeant, but I had no idea that safety was off, and I just...
I'll get you for this, Pyle. If it takes the rest of my days, I'll get you for this.
But I didn't do them things on purpose. I was just trying to...
Don't talk, Pyle. I don't want to hear your voice.
Yes, Sergeant.
I said I didn't want to hear your voice. Just change.
Yes, Sergeant.
I said don't talk, change.
Sergeant, Grandma Pyle used to always say, to err is human, to forgive divine. So if you just forgive me this time...
I'll forgive you, all right. You want to know how? You see this shirt? Well, that's you. Come on. All right, let's go. Well, come on, let's go.
Gomer isn't here yet, Sarge.
I said let's go. Move. Come on, move it. All right, start rowing.
But, Sergeant, are we going to wait for Gomer?
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Hey, Sergeant, wait for me.
Row!
Did you see that, boss? Right.
Where did I fail? Where? Aren't you ready yet? Come on, move it.
We're working as fast as we can, Sergeant.
We've already blown a half an hour. We're holding up the whole operation.
Sergeant Carter.
Don't talk, Pyle. Don't talk.
I just wanted to...
Do you know what I had to do just now? I had to beg the battalion commander not to replace me on this mission.
Well, I sure am sorry, Sergeant.
Don't talk, Pyle. Just don't talk. I had to beg him for another chance, and all because of one Marine. One Marine. And all he needed was a half an hour. A half an hour to mess up 15 years in the Marines. Anything I do from now on will be a comeback.
Ready, Sergeant.
All right, let's go. Come on, move it. 15 years. 15 years.
Okay, lower away.
Now that you've managed to delay long enough, the fog is beginning to roll in, so we have to make a slight change in plans. We sent up a plane to check and make sure that enemy sub isn't in the area. If it is, you'd be an easy target. And so would we. So just move out about 100 yards and wait for a signal from us before you proceed to the beach.
Aye, sir. And don't worry, sir. We'll make it this time.
I'll be grateful if you just make it away from the ship. Carry on.
Aye, sir. All right, move it.
What a shame. Without that Gomer boy, they might make it this time.
It's just possible.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait, hold everything. What's this?
What do you mean?
Look how sad that poor fella's about being left behind. Kind of gets you right here, you know. So maybe we could do a good deed and send him back to his owner.
What do you mean, Chief?
Pencil. Hey, Marine, come here. Pyle, that's your name, isn't it?
Yes, sir, Gomer Pyle.
Well, Pyle, I have a very important mission for you.
You do?
That's right. You see a sergeant out there with his patrol? You notice the way they've stopped?
Yes, sir. Something wrong?
No. It's all part of the big plan. Now, they can't proceed to the beach until they get a message from the high command.
You don't say.
And that message was just handed to me. Now, I want you to swim out there and give it to the sergeant personally.
You want me to swim?
That's right, but we don't want to use a boat and take a chance of attracting attention. I mean, this is top secret. You understand that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Put it in a cellophane to keep it dry. Now, there. Now, you better get cracking. We haven't got a second to lose.
Yes, sir, and thank you, sir, for giving me this chance. It might help me get back in good with Sergeant Carter.
Wouldn't be at all surprised.
And don't worry, Sergeant Carter will get the message.
I'm sure he will.
Boy, they're sure taking their sweet time with that signal.
Take it easy. The plane's probably still up there searching.
Hey, Sarge. Sarge, look. Look, there's something there in the water. Look, look.
It's a guy swimming.
Yeah, he seems to be coming this way. What would anybody be swimming out here for?
I don't know. Maybe it's one of those Navy frogmen.
Yeah, it could be, but why would he? No. It can't be. It can't be. No, no. It ain't really him. It's just one of them sea mirages. That's what happens when you're out in the ocean. You begin to see things that ain't really there.
Hey, Sergeant Carter. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Crying out loud, Gomer. What are you doing out here?
All right, let's have it, Pyle, and make it good.
I got a really important message for you, Sergeant, from the high command.
A message? What kind of message?
It's top secret. That's the reason the CPO sent me out here to give it to you personally.
The CPO sent you?
That's right. Here. That's a real good idea, Sergeant, destroying that secret message so the enemy can't see it.
I'll destroy that CPO. When I see him, I'll kill him. With my bare hands, I'll kill him.
What's the matter, Sergeant? He was only doing his duty. See, he got this message from high command.
Okay, Pyle. You brought me a message. Now I got a message for you to take back.
You have?
Yeah. Did you enjoy your little swim out here?
Sure did.
You think you can make it back all right?
Easy.
Well, just swim back to the ship.
Right, Sergeant. What's the message?
Tell that CPO to drop dead. Pyle, there's an enemy sub somewhere in this vicinity, probably staring at us at this very minute. Now, you're a Jane, so get out of this boat. Out, out.
But, Sergeant, I...
Sergeant, look!
That's the signal. We gotta get started. Out, Pyle, out, out, out.
Sergeant, I'm not a jinx. Honest, I'm not. And I'll make good if you just give me the chain.
Out, 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 out.
Seems a lot colder than it did the first time.
Start swimming. You'll warm up.
Any sign of Gomer, Sergeant?
Huh?
Can you spot Gomer anywhere?
That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a submarine.
Say it. Sergeant, look what I found.
Fire! Turn this thing about.
I can't see anything, sir. It's suddenly blacked out.
It's impossible.
Sergeant Carter, this thing was sticking right up out of the water. What'd I do?
It's a periscope. He's landing on a periscope. How hang on, Pyle, hang on. It's a submarine. It's right under you.
Golly. Went and captured up the submarine.
I'll give you a hand, sir.
We went and captured us a submarine.
I'd like to commend each and every one of you for a job well done. I'd like to especially commend Sergeant Carter and his patrol for pulling off one of the most daring maneuvers ever recorded in training exercises. The Marine Corps has done much in its long and illustrious history, but never before has a sub been captured by a handful of Marines in a rubber boat. If that sub had been operating during the landings, it could have been a disaster. As it turned out, the operation was a huge success. Again, congratulations to all of you. Carry on.
Hey, Sergeant Carter, I bet you get a promotion out of this.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, I'll bet you do. Why, they might even make you one of the... Hey, there goes that nice CPO. Hey there! I've been looking all over for you. Where you been, anyhow? I wanted to thank you for picking me to take that message to Sergeant Carter. If you hadn't, I'd missed all the excitement.
Oh, shut up! Okay, it's open for a buck.
Okay, Vince, I'm in.
I'll see it.
Come on, Carter, deal him like you knew how.
Listen to the Maharaja of the mess hall. How many cards?
I'll take 3.
Give me 2.
And I'll play these. It'll cost you 2 clams to see them.
Okay, Vince, I'll keep you honest.
That's it for me.
Read 'em and weep, sucker. 2 pair, aces and jacks.
Not so fast, sport. I got 15.
What?
3 little 5s.
Looks like he outdrew you, Sarge.
You should only have such luck with your chow, Hacker. We'd be eating like kings.
I don't know about my chow, but I just cooked your goose. Cooked this goose.
Hey, Sergeant, I got it.
Huh?
Don't you remember? You told me to stop by and pick up your uniform at the dry cleaners.
Dry cleaners? He's already been taken to the cleaners, haven't you, Vince?
Okay, Pyle, just hang in the locker. Well, wait a minute, let's see what kind of work they did. No, that's not my uniform. That's skirt. It's a woman's.
Why don't you try it on, Vince? Maybe it'll change your luck.
Can't you ever do anything right? I gave you a simple little job. Go over to the cleaners and pick up my uniform. Was that too much for that peanut brain of yours to absorb?
Well, I'm sorry about that, Sergeant, but it said Sergeant Carter on the bill.
It did? Where? You're right, Pyle, it did. It says Carter, all right. Sergeant Gloria Carter.
Well, I'll be. Gloria Carter. Well, I'm sorry, Sergeant.
Knock it off, Pyle. Just double time over to that dry cleaners and pick up my uniform. Now, is that clear, or should I write it down? Go!
Right, Sergeant. I can't imagine how a mistake like that happened. Imagine me...
Move, 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 move! All the nitwits. You know, I used to have plans of being a 30-year man. But with a guy like Pyle in my outfit, I don't know. Any day now, any day.
Yeah. Well, as my old mess sergeant used to say, no matter how you stir the pot, you only get out of it what you put into it.
Huh? What is that supposed to mean?
What's it supposed to mean? Well, I was just saying a guy like Pyle needs special attention, and he's just not getting it. Can you open, Boyle?
Hold on, Hacker. What kind of attention ain't he getting?
What kind? Understanding. You know, a guy that knows how to work with him. And it's just possible, Vince, that you don't know how to handle him. And can you open?
I don't know how to handle him. Well, what are you getting at, Hacker? That you know how to handle him?
Well, I've had guys like Pyle in my mess hall. Some even worse. I remember one bird brain, he couldn't even handle a can opener. But I worked with him, gave him a little encouragement, and then within 1 week, he was able to prepare a meal for the whole company.
Well, what do you know, Boyle? We got a miracle worker sitting here, a regular miracle worker.
Can we play?
And what are you suggesting, Hacker? That you can work a miracle with Pyle, too?
No miracle, Vince. Just the right approach. You see, the trouble with you is you have no tact.
I got no what?
Tact. You see, the difference between us is that I have feelings for human beings. And let's face it, Vince, you don't. As a matter of fact, sometimes you are downright crude.
Crude? Who are you calling crude?
You. I'm calling you crude.
Fellas, please, can we
You know what I ought to do? I ought to turn him over to you. That's right, you got all that tact and feeling for people. I ought to give him to you as a present.
Why don't you? I couldn't do any worse with them than you had.
Okay, he's yours. And while we're at it, suppose we put a little bet on it.
A bet? Who said anything about a bet?
Well, you're the big genius that took some goof up and had him turn out a meal. There's no reason you can't do the same thing with Pyle, is there?
Pyle? Cook a meal?
Hey, he's pretty big with the talk, ain't he, Boyle, huh? But when it comes to putting up the dough...
Okay, I'll do it. I did it with one knucklehead. I can do it with another.
You mean you're gonna take Pyle on?
Yeah, I'll take him on, just to prove something to you, Vince.
Okay, how much?
You tell me.
Well, since you're loaded down with tact, shall we say 50?
All right, let's say 50. But remember, I'm not promising Pyle will be the head chef at the Waldorf. He'll just be able to prepare a meal by himself.
You heard him. $50. By this time next week, Pyle cooks a meal all on his own, right, Hacker?
Right, yeah.
Oh, and just one more little thing. About that meal, Hacker, we have to live after it.
The mess hall? You mean you're putting me on KP?
Oh, no, Pyle. This has nothing to do with KP. You see, there's this new regulation that all Marines have to be able to double up in different jobs, you know, in case of emergency. So, knowing how you love to eat, I thought you'd be perfect for the kitchen.
Well, does this mean that I'm going to be over there all the time? You're not trying to get rid of me, are you, Sergeant?
Oh, I know, Pyle. How could you think such a thing? This is just a temporary assignment for a week. And what a great opportunity.
Really?
Oh, sure. Everybody wanted the job. But Sergeant Hacker asked for you special.
He did? Well, I sure hope I'm worthy of the job.
Oh, you are, Pyle. You are. You're going to be just great. The fact is, I've got every confidence in the world in you.
Well, thank you, Sergeant. Knowing that you feel that way about it, I'm going to go over there to the mess hall tomorrow and give it everything I've got.
Good boy. You will? Well, remember, Pyle, we're all only human, and sometimes even the best of us make mistakes.
Don't you worry, Sergeant. I won't let you down.
Yeah, well, whatever you do, Pyle, just be yourself, and everything will work out fine.
How do you mean that?
I mean, don't do anything to change the way you are. I mean, just be yourself.
All right, snap it up in there now. We're a little behind this morning. Pyle? Where's Pyle? He was here a minute ago. Pyle?
Here I am, Sergeant. I had to go change my hat. The other one was kind of loose, and I didn't want it to fall into breakfast.
Yeah, fine, Pyle, fine. But stay close. Stay real close. Now, you're my #1 assistant, and I'm counting on you.
Well, I sure appreciate that, Sergeant. And believe me, I'm going to do my best. I mean, you won't be sorry for all the faith and trust you have in me.
Yeah, sure, Pyle. Now, let's see. I want to put you on something nice and simple. There it is. Now, since this is your first day in the kitchen, I'm going to put you on oatmeal.
You mean I'm going to get to make the oatmeal? I ain't had a recipe for oatmeal.
No, Pyle, no. The oatmeal's all ready to go. You see, the ingredients are all in there cooking away. Now, all you have to do is stir. Now, watch me. Now, you see, that's all there is to it. You just make circles. Nice, round circles. Now, why don't you try it, Pyle?
Okay. Like this?
That's perfect. Just perfect. I've never seen anybody take to stirring just like that.
Thank you, Sergeant. It's just one question, though. Is it okay if I change directions and go like this?
Sure, anything you want, Pyle. Backwards, forwards, sideways.
Can I make numbers and X's like a figure 8?
Sure, Pyle. X's, numbers, doodles, anything you want. But just keep stirring. Now, I'm going to go out and check on the steam tables. If you need anything, just call me.
Right, Sergeant. You go about your business and just leave the oatmeal to me. Say, that's a pretty heavy load you got there. Let me give you some help. There you go. Boy, this is way too big a bundle for any one man.
Oatmeal! I'll! The oatmeal! I'll!
You call me Sergeant? I was just helping. Shazam! Oatmeal is boiling over.
Yeah, sure it's boiling over. Why is it boiling over? Because you stopped stirring. You did stop stirring, didn't you, Pyle?
Yes, Sergeant, I got no excuse. I left my post. Oh, I feel just terrible.
Yeah, well, get 'em up. Just get 'em up.
I will, Sergeant. I'll get him up. Right away, right away. You just wait right here.
Wow, what happened here?
What does it look like?
Well, we better do something fast, Sergeant. The guys are lining up for chow. What are we going to do about the oatmeal?
Yeah, well, we just have to give 'em what's left. That's all. Get a rag and start cleaning up. And the rest of you, move around there. Okay, come on. Keep it moving there.
I mean, that's it? Come on. Stop with the jokes. Put something in there.
Come on, Carter. Move it along. You're holding up the line.
What do you mean? How are you guys putting out food for canaries? You're feeding Marines. Come on, let's go.
Look, Carter, you got more than enough. Your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Besides, we've been wasting too much food in this mess hall, and I'm calling a halt to it.
Hold on, Hacker. What are you talking about? There's nothing in there.
Waste not, want not. Now move it.
I don't know. There's something phony going on around here.
Hey, Sergeant Hacker, I finished all my mopping. I cleaned up the whole mess. Hey, Sergeant Carter. Boy, when oatmeal boils over, it really boils over.
Yeah, well, okay, Pyle. Come on, let's
I should
get...
have known. It boiled over? We're out of oatmeal because of you, huh, Pyle?
That's right, Sergeant. It's all my fault. I take full responsibility. It's just like I was telling Sergeant Hacker.
Yeah, okay, Pyle. Come on, back in the kitchen. We got a lot of work to do. Fill up those salt shakers, huh?
Right, Sergeant. Sure hope you enjoy the oatmeal, Sergeant, or what's left of it.
Oh, I will. I'll enjoy it like it was a $50 dinner.
Okay now, Pyle, like I told you, we're going to forget all about what happened at breakfast. We're going to start fresh. We're going to pretend that you've never been in this kitchen before, all right?
Okay, Sergeant.
Okay. Now, you see, what we got to do, Pyle, is start from the beginning. We got to get you acquainted with all the fundamentals here. And by the time we're through, you're going to be able to cook a meal all by yourself.
Golly, Sergeant. Me cook a meal by myself? I appreciate your faith in me, Sergeant. I don't think I could ever do that.
Confidence, Pyle.
sure, Pyle. Load me up.
I'll take some too, Pyle.
Hey, Sergeant, guess what?
Huh? What's the matter, Pyle?
I made these mashed potatoes myself.
You did? No kidding. Hey, Boyle, you hear that? Pyle made the mashed potatoes.
Shh. I don't want the other cooks to hear. They'll think I'm pushing myself.
Oh, sure, Pyle, sure. They look delicious. You did a great job.
Thank you, Sergeant. I can hardly wait for you to taste them.
Yeah, well, we can hardly wait either. Right, Boyle?
Let me know what you think. If you want seconds, there's plenty more.
Hey, Vince, you think Pyle really made these potatoes by himself?
I don't know, but here's where we find out. He made them. Hacker! Oh, Mess Sergeant Hacker!
What do you want, Carter? I'm busy.
I understand that Pyle made these potatoes all by himself.
That's right. Pyle made them. So what? What's wrong with them?
Well, Boyle and me was just wondering about the recipe. Did he use cement or wallpaper paste?
I had everything laid out for him. I even stood over him while he mixed the ingredients. How could he? Wait a minute. I remember. I went back to the reefer for some more milk. But I couldn't have been gone more than 45 seconds. He couldn't have.
Oh, yes, he could, Hacker. Leaving Pyle alone for 45 seconds is inviting disaster.
No, it's impossible. It can't be.
You know, Hacker, I almost feel sorry for you. If I was a real nice guy, I'd let you off the hook and call off the bet. But I'm not a nice guy, and you got a big mouth, so the bet's still on. He cooks the meal on Friday, which is tomorrow, is it not? Yes, sir, Boyle, this is it. D-Day, dinner day. 50 big ones coming my way. 5-0.
You sound awful confident, Sarge. You that positive Pyle's gonna blow the meal?
I'll tell you how positive I am. I'm going to call that fancy French joint in town, La Petite Chateau, and make a dinner reservation for Bunny and me. We got a lot of celebrating to do.
You sent for me, sir?
Yes, Sergeant. We just received word from the airstrip that Colonel Driscoll arrived from San Francisco and will be eating at your mess this noon. I just thought you ought to know.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll cook up some T-bone steaks, a couple of baked potatoes.
No, nothing special. What are you serving the men?
Well, the menu calls for salmon croquettes, sir, but I'm sure that you and the Colonel would like something a little more elaborate.
I'm afraid you don't understand, Sergeant. Colonel Driscoll makes it a policy to always eat what the men are eating, so salmon croquettes will be fine.
But, sir, the croquettes, you see, I'm not sure about that. What I mean is, they may not come out the way we...
I know this is short notice, Sergeant, but whatever you have will be fine. That'll be all.
Aye, sir. Hey, Carter, it's all over. The bet's off. I gotta get over the mess hall.
Huh?
Colonel Driscoll's on the post. He's gonna eat at our mess hall.
Colonel Driscoll's gonna eat Pyle's cooking? That's very funny.
Oh, yeah? How funny is it gonna be when he tastes the cooking and orders an investigation?
What do you mean?
Look, there's gotta be an investigation. The guys, they just beef a little. But the Colonel will order an investigation.
Huh?
Can't you see it's gotta come out that miserable meal is the result of a personal bet between you and me? You'll be in as much trouble as me.
So what do you suggest?
Our only hope is to get over there and doctor up Pyle's meal before the Colonel shows.
Well, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What if Pyle's cooking can't be fixed?
I don't know. We'll do something. We'll send out for Chinese. Vince, look.
We're too late. It's Colonel Driscoll with Colonel Gray.
Yeah, and look who's carrying their trays. Oh, somebody trip him. Somebody trip him, please. Oh, he's serving the meal. Vince, I can't watch anymore.
Pyle's handing out the napkins. Driscoll's picking up his fork. He's taking a bite. I can't watch either.
15 years. 15 years. I've been a mess sergeant for 15 years. And now to see it all go down the drain.
Easy, Charlie, easy.
You take it easy. All those years serving up chow in jungles, on beachheads, during air raids. in war and peace. All those years. And not once was I ever called up for a bad meal. And now, this is the way it all ends. And it's all your fault.
My fault? My fault? Who opened his big mouth first?
Who wanted Pyle to cook a meal?
Yeah, but if you had to give me that static about him...
Ah, knock it off.
What do you mean, knock it off?
Sergeant Hacker, Sergeant Carter, the colonel would like to see you both right away.
Sergeant Hacker reporting as ordered, sir.
Sergeant Carter reporting his order, sir.
At ease. I understand that you two men have had something to do with the preparation of this meal.
Yes, sir. We both share in the responsibility.
Good. Because I just want to say that is the best pork rinds and collard greens I have ever eaten. Not to mention those black-eyed peas, grits and gravy, and that cherry cobbler. Well, boys, I haven't tasted cooking like that since I was a young'un, back home in Georgia.
Pleasant surprise, Sergeant. I understood today's menu called for salmon croquettes.
Well, I guess I'm to blame for that, sir. You see, Sergeant, when I started fixing them salmon croquettes, I couldn't make heads nor tails out of that recipe. And I knew I couldn't let the fellers go away without eating. So I just got to thinking, and shazam, it come to me.
Shazam?
See, I remembered those Sunday church suppers back home and how I used to watch my Aunt Martha prepare all the fixings. So I just put my memory to work, and this is it.
Well, however you did it, son, it certainly was a pleasant surprise. And you deserve a lot of credit.
Well, thank you, Colonel, but I can't claim all the credit, because if it hadn't been for Sergeant Hacker here and Sergeant Carter, I never could have done it.
Well, now, hold it, son. You lost me there. What do you mean?
Well, to be honest with you, Colonel, up to now I've been making a real mess here in the mess hall. But Sergeant Hacker here was just as patient as he could be, hardly ever raised his voice to me. All he was worried about was me making a grade. Isn't that right, Sergeant Hacker?
Yeah, Pyle, sure, that's right.
And as for Sergeant Carter here, when I told him how bad things was going over here in the mess hall, he told me not to worry at all, said it was okay if I ruined a few meals. He said the only way to learn was by making mistakes. So you see, they deserve most of the credit. With faith and confidence like that, how could I go wrong?
Well, apparently you two sergeants have a real talent for handling men, and that's good.
Thank you, sir. All we can do is try. Give it our best.
But, of course, with a bright boy like Pyle here to work with, you really have no problems.
Yes, sir. He's one of my favorites. Bright as they come. Only wish I had more like him.
Well, Vince, all in all, I'd say we've been pretty lucky. Pretty lucky.
Yeah, Pyle really came through for us, didn't he?
He sure did. And speaking of coming through, how about paying off?
Paying off? What do you mean?
Well, the bet that Pyle could manage a meal all by himself.
Are you kidding? You called it off, don't you remember?
Oh, I called it off when I thought that I'd have to throw his meal out and cook one myself. But I didn't have to. Pyle's meal worked, so pay up.
So it worked. That's no credit to you. That's cooking he learned from his Aunt Martha. If I was going to pay anybody, I'd pay his Aunt Martha.
Oh, Vince, be fair.
Be fair, you be fair. You cancel out, the bet's off. Come on.
Well, all right. Maybe you're right.
You're darn right I'm right.
There, you got me on a technicality.
Yeah.
But you got to admit one thing. What I started out to prove. That if you show even a knucklehead like Pyle a little patience and understanding, he'll come through for you.
I don't know.
What do you mean? He did such a good job with lunch, I told him to go ahead and make dinner.
You did? He's making dinner?
Right now. Tact, Vince, tact. Just show him a little confidence and he'll come through. Why don't you admit it?
I don't know.
Admit it, admit it. All he needs...
What's that? I don't know. Thunder?
Could be a sonic boom.
Oh, no, it sounded closer, like it came from down around the mess hall.
The mess hall?
Sergeant Hacker, I got bad news about your stove.
Admit what, Hacker? What should I admit, huh? What? What should I admit, huh?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I was just talking to myself. I said,
Oh.
I said that on account of this here picture of the beast eating the Eiffel Tower. Well, in the movie, he never did eat it. He just stomped it down.
You know, you're right. I never noticed.
They put a lot of things on posters that are not in the movies. Like this one back here. See where the mud creature's oozing up the steps of the Egyptian embassy? That wasn't even in the picture.
Say, you're right. Oh, you certainly have a good memory.
Oh, it's not that exactly. I just seen this picture twice.
Oh, then you like monster movies, too.
I sure do. And I sure did enjoy the last one they had here. I Was a Teenage Insect. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Well, it was a real good one. You see, this scientist feller was tampering with things that are best left alone. And, well, it gets kind of complicated, and I don't guess you've got time to hear the whole thing.
Well, I am waiting for a bus, but it isn't due for another half an hour. We could go across the street and have a cup of coffee, and you could tell me all about it there.
I'd like that. Do you like sodas? They're my favorite.
Oh, I love cherry sodas. They're my favorite.
Cherry sodas? Mine, too. Well, isn't it a small world?
Oh, it sure is. I mean, well, it's so unusual to meet somebody who likes the same things you like. I'm Alice Borden.
I'm Gomer Pyle, and I'm pleased to know you.
How do you do?
Well, what this scientist feller done with his tampering was to put this teenage girl into a deep, deep sleep. And when she woke up, she was crawling up the sugar bowl. So this scientist feller falls in love with the insect that he's created. But he can't change her back. So guess what?
What?
He changes himself into an insect, and at the end of the picture, they go crawling off together. I just love pictures with a happy ending, don't you?
I certainly do.
Hey, Gome.
Hey, Duke.
Hello there.
This is my buddy Duke Slater. This is Miss Alice Borden.
How do you do?
Hello.
Won't you sit down and join us, Duke?
Huh? Oh, no, I'll move on. You two look like you want to be left alone.
Duke.
What?
It was just Duke clowning around. Would you like another soda?
Well, I think Oh, dear, I missed my bus.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's all my fault for rattling on so.
I don't mind, really. I just enjoy talking to you.
Well, since you do have to wait on the next bus, did you ever see the movie where the giant moth lit on Japan?
No, I didn't.
Well, that was another good one. You see, this scientist feller was tampering around with things that are best left alone, and one day he was experimenting, and so he was there in his lab.
Where are you going, Gome?
Oh, into town.
You got a date?
Uh-huh, sort of. That young lady you met last night.
Yeah. Hey, I haven't had a chance to ask you about her. Who is she? Where'd you meet her anyway?
At the movies. We got to talking about monster movies. She likes them, too.
You picked her up in a monster movie?
Well, it wasn't like that, Duke. We just met.
Well, call it what you want. Hey, Casanova, way to go there, and good work.
You shouldn't talk like that, Duke. That poor girl's had a lot of grief.
Yeah?
That's right. She's lost her parents, and her brother are staying at this motel, and they're working their way to Oregon to start a new life.
Oh, well, she seems like a very nice girl.
She is, and we got a lot in common. We both like cherry sodas and popcorn and monster movies.
You know, I'd try it myself. Find something real cute like that at a monster movie. I'm afraid that's what I'd wind up with, a monster.
You're just cynical, Duke. Well, I'll see you.
Hey, Gomer, if she's got a sister... Nah, forget it. She'd probably be a monster.
Cynical.
I certainly did enjoy myself tonight, Gomer.
Well, I'm sure glad, Miss Alice.
Hi, Lloyd.
Oh, hi, sis.
Gomer, this is my brother, Lloyd. Lloyd, this is Gomer Pyle.
Pleased to meet you, Lloyd.
Same here.
Gomer, it's so early. Why don't we sit in the swing and talk for a while?
If you'd like.
Well, I guess you two have things to talk about. I'll go on inside and read.
Don't let us run you off, Lloyd.
Oh, that's all right. The light's better inside.
Your brother Lloyd seems like a real nice fella.
Oh, I just knew you two would hit it off, just like you and I did. You know something, Gomer? You're awfully easy to talk to. I mean, most fellas, well, with them, it's hard to really say anything. It's just the same old talk that you talk to people that you really don't know how to talk to.
Well, thanks.
I guess it's because we have so much in common.
That's right. We both like monster movies.
And cherry sodas.
Right.
Oh, Gomer, you must think I'm awfully silly.
Well, no. What makes you say a thing like that?
Well, because I enjoy talking to you so much. And this is just every day to you.
Why, it isn't either.
You're not just saying that?
Golly, no.
Oh. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could sit and talk like this every night? Forever and ever?
Well, that'd be nice.
Oh, Gomer, I accept!
You do?
Lloyd! Oh, Lloyd! Lloyd, guess what? Gomer just proposed to me.
When?
Just now, isn't it exciting?
Well, congratulations, brother-in-law.
You're gonna get what?
Married, I think.
You think? What is this, some kind of gag?
No, Sergeant, it's a surprise to me, too. I mean, that's my problem. She said yes before I realized I'd made a proposal.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just means that she was answering questions I didn't think I was asking.
Pyle, did you propose to the girl or not?
Well, I didn't mean to, but I guess she took it that way.
What did you say to her, for Pete's sake?
Well, I told her I liked to talk to her.
You told her you liked to talk to her, and she said, yes, I'll marry you?
I think it was the part about forever and ever that did it.
Well, how long have you known this girl?
Going on 3 days.
Uh-huh. One of them long engagements.
I mean, she's a real nice girl and all, Sergeant, but I just don't want to get married.
You don't?
Well, not now anyways, and not to a girl I've known only 3 days.
Okay, then it's simple. Just call her up and tell her you don't want to get married.
But I don't hardly see how I can do that, Sergeant. It seemed all kind of settled last night.
Look, Pyle, this girl tricked you into proposing. It's a racket, and you fell for it.
You mean she don't want to marry me?
Oh, she'll marry you, all right. She'll marry you for your paycheck.
My paycheck?
That's right. The wife of a serviceman gets a nice monthly allotment. Now, that's all she wants. Right after you're married, she'll disappear with a story about how some relative is sick and just send her the check in care of general delivery in that city.
She will?
Mm-hmm. And after about 6 months or a year, you're suddenly going to realize you don't really have a wife. So you stop them checks. But in the meantime, she's married maybe 4 other guys who are also sending her checks. Now, that's $360 a month, tax-free, huh?
Oh, I can't believe it.
Them girls hunt for suckers in uniform. There's a flock of them, like buzzards.
But she seems so nice.
Dump her.
But how, Sergeant?
Pyle, take it from me. The voice of experience. She'll dump you in a minute if she finds a better sucker to marry.
It's hard to believe that of Alice.
All right. I'll prove it to you and get you off the hook at the same time.
How?
Simple. I'll take her away from you.
What?
Pyle, I told you if a better sucker came along, she'd go for it. Well, that's me. Just give me the girl's address.
But, Sergeant...
Pyle, aside from the obvious difference in physical attraction, she'll be looking at the sleeve. Since a sergeant makes more than a private, she'll dump you and go for me. Just watch.
Sergeant, even if she did, and I don't think she will, then you'd have to marry her.
I'd have to dump her. She dumps you, I dump her.
I just can't believe it.
Why? Why can't you believe it?
I just can't believe that of Alice. A girl that likes monster movies and cherry sodas can't be all bad.
Yes?
Oh, Miss Borden?
Yes?
I'm Vince Carter, Gomer Pyle's sergeant.
Oh?
May I come in?
Well, yes, I suppose so. Is, anything wrong?
Well, Pyle, Gomer told me about the happy occasion, and since I'm his sergeant, I sort of feel responsible for him, almost like a father. So I thought I'd drop around and meet the blushing bride. Oh, say, this is for you. It's champagne. I know that Gomer, on his private salary, would never be able to afford a bottle of champagne, so it's my little treat. Now, on your wedding night, have one on me.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sergeant. Sergeant, would you like a cup of coffee?
I'd love one. And you can call me Vince.
Oh, Vince, I'm awfully glad I met you. You're so easy to talk to.
Sure. A lot easier than some you might know.
Is that supposed to mean something?
Well, if you don't know, there's no reason for me to tell you. It's like you said, you and me get along good together.
Well, you are easy to talk to, Vince. What's the matter, Vince?
You know, I feel kind of like a rat. I come here to check on a girl one of my men is going to marry, and something's beginning to happen, and I don't like it.
What, Vince? What?
Why don't you make me leave before we're both sorry?
Vince, please don't go.
But it just ain't fair, Alice. It just ain't. There's Pyle, a nice little private, waiting to marry you. And here am I, a sergeant, acing him out. It just ain't fair.
Vince, listen. Sometimes we just can't help these things.
We can't?
Of course not. If it's got to happen, it's got to happen. Why fight it?
Yeah. And don't they say all's fair in love and war?
Oh, they do, Vince, they do.
And don't they say why settle for beans when you can have steak?
Oh, Vince, I accept. My God.
You must be Lloyd.
Guess what? Vince just proposed.
No! Who?
Oh, that's right, you two haven't met. This is my brother Lloyd, Lloyd Vince Carter.
Well, congratulations, brother-in-law. You sure are a fast worker.
Oh, isn't it exciting?
Who would have thought when I came in tonight that things would be winding up like this, huh? Oh, say. I hate to bring up a sour note, but Pyle. What do we do about Pyle?
Oh.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you write him a letter tonight and tell him? I'd rather it came from you.
I'll let him down as gently as possible.
Good. Well, I've got to be going. I've got plans to make and things to do.
See you, sir.
Nice going, babe. That was a shrewd move.
Yeah, it's a pain. Boy, the things I do for you, Lloyd.
How about the things I do for you? Do you think I like letting other guys propose to my wife?
Oh, yeah, I bet it bothers you a lot.
Look, stop complaining. There's nothing more sure than a serviceman's allotment. It comes in like clockwork.
Well, maybe you're right, Lloyd. But sometimes I think we're too hung up on security.
Did I call it, Pyle, huh? Did I?
Well, it's hard to believe, Sergeant.
Yeah. Well, I had to do it that way to prove it to you, Pyle. It's too bad you had to learn.
It's terrible. Just terrible. What kind of people are those?
Leeches, Pyle. Not people, leeches.
Well, you sure knew what to do, Sergeant.
Naturally. Maybe next time you'll listen to me and learn from my experience.
I sure will. But how are you going to get out of Marinalis?
It's already done. The minute I got back on the base last night, I called her up and said, it's been a great engagement, Toots, but I've been thinking it over, and adios.
Golly.
When you know, Pyle, you know.
Colonel wants to see you, Sarge.
Right. So let this be a lesson to you. You're off the hook, I'm off the hook, and she's down the drain. And there's nothing she can do about it. Just chalk this up to experience, and a lucky one.
Right, Sergeant. And it's all thanks to you.
Well...
You better hurry up, Sarge. The Colonel's waiting.
Right. Here I go.
Come in.
That's him. That's the man. I want him arrested.
Sergeant, would you mind explaining this?
Sir, what have they told you?
Is it true you asked this woman to marry you?
Yes, he did. And he can't deny it.
I think I'd better discuss this with the sergeant.
Alone. All right. But something's going to have to be done. We don't want to make trouble, but if we have to...
Well, I can explain this whole thing, sir.
I certainly hope so.
Well, you see, sir, this girl is a con artist, a phony. Only one of my men didn't believe it, so I went out to prove something.
Yes. Did you ask her to marry you?
Well, sir, this man in my platoon was tricked into marrying her, and I was just trying to get him out.
Sergeant, did you ask her to marry you?
Well, It was the only way I could prove to this man that she was a con artist, sir.
A dangerous game. Did she trick you into proposing?
No, sir, I wouldn't fall for that old game. I tricked her.
Then you got your man out of trouble.
That's right, sir.
But you, Sergeant, are in big trouble.
But, Colonel, I proved that she was just after a meal ticket, a serviceman's allotment.
I think you're probably right. And I admire the fact you wanted to get your man out of trouble. But you handled it in the wrong way. You should have gone through channels, Sergeant. You know their department's set up for this sort of thing.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what this fellow has in mind when he says he can make trouble. But I want this settled. Quietly.
Yes, sir.
That's all, Sergeant.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, heartbreaker.
Oh, why don't you stop? You're not fooling anybody with that act of yours. What do you want?
We want to see you brought to justice for breach of promise. However...
I figured there was a however. What's your however?
Nothing. It's just the lawsuits take so long, and we would like to leave for Oregon right away.
So?
So the technical term is settling out of court.
Oh, I get it. This is a shakedown. You know, them are common crooks.
Bite your tongue, Sergeant. There are also laws against slander. Now, do we settle this like reasonable people, or do I go in to see the colonel again?
Wait.
Yes?
Well, what kind of settling you talking about?
Well, I figure we could patch Alice's heart and get to Oregon on $500.
$500?
We're giving you a break because you're a serviceman.
Why, you...
Sergeant. You wouldn't want to add an assault and battery charge, would you? That's better. You can pay us any time as long as it's by Friday.
I feel terrible. Really terrible. Just terrible.
Okay, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Yes, there is. I can pay the $500 for you.
Where are you going to get $500?
Well, I could pay them $2 a month. That's what I put in my savings account.
Well.
It don't sound like much, but it adds up. That's $24 a year.
Well, they're not going to wait 20 years for the money.
It's closer to 21. In fact, it's 21 exactly.
Look, let's just say this is a very expensive lesson, not to butt into anybody else's business.
But, Sergeant...
You can't help me, so forget it.
Well, where are you going to get $500?
I don't know. I could always sell my car. It's worth almost $900. I still owe $1,000 on it. I don't know, Pyle. I'll think of something. Just get out of here and leave me alone.
Right, Sergeant.
You gotta be kidding. $76.
But it was all I could get from my buddies. $76 down, and then $2 a month till it's all paid off, just like the way they do in department stores.
It's nice you want to help your sergeant, but we couldn't settle for $76.
Okay, but it's only fair to warn you. The weed of crime bears bitter fruit.
I don't believe him.
Pyle, what are you doing here?
He was just leaving.
I tried, Sergeant.
Huh?
You bring the money?
Yeah.
500?
Well, closer to 50.
Closer to 40. Well, a private here was going to do better than that.
Why don't you take the $76 and the 40, and we'll pay you the rest later? I got $76.
Now, wait a minute. What do you take us for? We want $500, and we're not going to settle for less.
Well, I can't get it this quick. I need more time.
How much more time?
About a year and a half.
Alice, let's call a lawyer.
Wait a minute. You can't do this to Sergeant Carter.
Oh, no. We've got a legitimate breach of promise case.
Pyle, will you stay out of this?
You gonna pay the money or not?
I can't get it this quick, I told you.
Alice, call.
But if this ever gets out, they'll be saying terrible things about Sergeant Carter.
Yeah, call, Alice.
Wait a minute. If anybody's reputation is going to get abused, then it ought to be mine, because I asked first.
What?
I asked you to marry me first, so I got first choice in getting sued.
You got $500?
No.
The lawyer, Alice, call him.
Wait a minute. You can't do that.
What's gonna stop me?
Well, I'll stop you.
Oh, really? How?
I'll marry you.
Pyle.
Marry me?
Marry you. You said you'd marry me before you said you'd marry Sergeant Carter, and I can't afford to get sued, so I guess I'll just have to marry you.
Pyle, you can't marry her.
You can't stop me, Sergeant.
Listen to your sergeant, kid.
No, I'm gonna marry her.
Are you kidding? I wouldn't marry you if you were the last guy.
Don't matter now, you promised.
Yeah. I think maybe it is time Pyle got married.
Lloyd, I'm not...
Shut up. Now, look, 500 isn't much if you split it between the two of you.
Yeah, but I think marriage would be good for Pyle. And this is a great day for a wedding. Yeah, I think it's about time Pyle settled down and had a few kids.
What?
Call the chaplain, Pyle.
Yes, Sergeant.
Wait a minute. Now, look, we're all friends here. If you're in a bind, we'll settle for $250.
Not a cent. Pyle's happiness is at stake. Call the chaplain.
Wait a minute, hold it. Look, Alice don't want to marry the dummy, and the dummy don't want to marry Alice. So fair's fair. We'll just take the money you got and forget the whole thing.
And you won't sue Sergeant Carter?
No, we'll let it go.
Sounds fair to me, Sergeant.
Well, not to me.
That's our last offer, Jarhead. Alice don't have to marry him, and we'll still sue you.
He does have a point there, Sergeant.
He ain't got a point. We got the point. Go ahead and sue.
You think we won't? Alice, call a lawyer.
Pyle, call a lawyer.
You mean the chaplain?
I mean a lawyer.
But they're calling the lawyer. We're supposed to call a chaplain.
Not anymore. If she's suing me for jilting her, then you're suing her for jilting you.
What? Sergeant's right. Turnabout's fair play.
Oh, I should have thought of this before. We got the best end of the deal. She threw Pyle over to get me. Judges don't like that.
Oh, wait a minute, Sergeant.
Pyle, call a lawyer.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe you've got a point. Alice and me, we'd like to discuss it for a minute. Maybe we could work out a settlement. Go on, Alice.
Sergeant, even if we can sue them more than they can sue us, I don't want to because it's not a fair and honest way to earn money.
Well, I don't want to sue them either. I just want to throw a scare into them to get them off our back. That's called diplomacy.
Well, what do you think they'll do? What if she decides she will marry me?
Now, she ain't gonna marry you. She ain't gonna marry me. She ain't gonna marry anybody. They're gonna try to weasel their way out of this, is what? Just watch. They'll come back in here. It looks like my diplomacy worked.
Sure did. Maybe they'll live a better life in Oregon.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I was just talking to myself.
Oh.
This picture here, it's not right.
It's not?
No, you see where the giant caterpillar is spinning a cocoon around the United Nations building? Well, in the movie, he spun it around Grant's tomb.
Oh, that's true.
Guess you think I'm kind of silly, but I always compare these publicity pictures with the movies. Did you ever do that?
Yes, I do.
I was talking to a young lady just the other evening about the very same thing, and she... You like monster movies?
Yes.
You like cherry sodas?
Yes.
Bye, ma'am. I'm sorry to have put you to all this trouble, mister. Have a nice trip.
Boy, what a waste of time this is. I bet we've stopped 20 cars, and for what? Nothing.
Well, there must be smugglers operating in this area.
Oh, Gomer, you really believe that?
Well, why would the state police ask the Marines to cooperate in setting up all these roadblocks? It's all part of a big trap.
Some trap. Stuck out here in the boondocks, we got a better chance of trapping a gopher.
Well, you never know. The Mexican border's practically around the corner, and them smugglers is getting through somehow. Hey, Duke, here comes a car.
Gomer, believe me, it's nothing. Believe me, it's nothing.
What's the matter here? Something wrong?
Sorry to trouble you, ma'am, but we have orders to stop every car.
What? What are you talking about?
Gomer, she's no smuggler. That's all right, ma'am. You can be on your way.
Now, wait a minute, Duke. I know you're not a smuggler, ma'am. It's just that we have orders to search every car.
What do you think you're going to find in this car?
Well, you never know, ma'am. You could be the innocent carrier of smuggled goods. Them smugglers could have put some articles in your car unbeknownst to you.
For heaven's sake.
Gomer, will you let it...
Attention. Roadblock Charlie 3. Roadblock Charlie 3.
That's us. I'll get it. And let her go.
I'll search under the hood. That's always a favorite hiding place.
Roadblock Charlie 3 reporting.
Charlie 3, secure all equipment and prepare to move out. Transportation will pick you up at main intersection at 1300 hours. Acknowledge and over.
Roger. Okay, Gomer, let's wrap it up. We gotta meet the trot in 10 minutes.
Shazam, would you look at that?
What is it, Gomer? What'd you find? Jewelry, marijuana, what?
A corroded battery cable.
What?
Well, look for yourself. It's about ready to break off.
Oh, brother, never mind that. Let's pack up and get out of here. The truck's on its way.
Ma'am, if I was you, I'd try to get that fixed right away. It could give you some trouble.
That's Emo's service station for you. They're always in such a hurry.
And, ma'am, while you're at it, your fan belt's a little loose. You could have Emo tighten that up, too.
Gomer, let's go. We're gonna be late.
The fan belt, too?
Yes, ma'am. In the morning. How does she start up? Does she start up right away?
No, not really.
Oh, boy.
I think I know what the trouble is. It's your spark plugs. I think you got weak plugs.
I'm certainly going to tell Emil about this. Young man.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you please check the oil and water?
Oh, we're glad to.
Gomer, what are you doing? We gotta pack the radio.
Your water's fine, ma'am. You're about a half quart down on your oil. Looks like to me she needs changing. You're getting a little greedy.
Thank you, young man. Emo's certainly going to hear it from me.
You mean you're not gonna do her windshield?
Oh.
Gomer!
Thank you very much, Private. You've been very kind.
It's okay, ma'am. You just tell Emil that a satisfied customer is a loyal customer.
I'll tell Emil, all right.
Okay, Gomer? Too bad you don't give stamps.
No wonder people have so much trouble with their cars. Everybody's in such a hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Do you know who's not going to be in business very long? Emil.
My aching back. They call this equipment portable.
Well, if you want to rest a while, we could stop for a breather.
A breather? We'll be late for the truck. You and your car servicing.
Hey, there it is. There it is. You see? You was worried for nothing, Duke. We're here in plenty of time.
Hey, it's leaving. Hey, fellas, wait for us! Wait for Charlie! Wait! Well, that's a motor pool for you. They could have waited. Of all the rotten...
Can't blame them, Duke. We was late. Might as well make an example of us as anybody.
Yeah, and guess whose fault it is? Now, you sorry you didn't give that lady a wash and lube job, Gomer?
Sorry, Duke.
That helps. In the meantime, we're stuck way out here. It's at least 10 miles to the base.
I guess the only thing for us to do now is to hitch a ride. Folks are always happy to pick up servicemen.
You were saying about us picking up a ride, Gomer? Any particular day?
Hasn't been much traffic.
Well, I gotta rest, Gomer. This thing weighs a ton.
Hey, Duke, here comes one now.
What's up, boys?
Excuse me, sir. Are you going as far as the Marine base? Could we hitch a ride with you?
Well,
Please? This is awful heavy, and I really would appreciate it.
Well, I suppose so. Okay.
Can we put this equipment in your trunk?
Yeah, I guess so.
This is real neighborly of you. My name's Gomer Pyle, private first class, and this is my buddy, TFC Duke Slater.
Pleased to meet you. My name's Burton. You fellas been out on maneuvers?
Oh, no. We've been out helping the state police set up roadblocks. Do you know this whole area is infested with smugglers?
No kid.
Are you from around here, sir?
No, I'm from upstate. I'm just stopping off in town on some business.
Well, listen, if you're going to be in town a day or two, why don't you come out to the base? We can show you through our barracks and take you through the service club. We've got new ping pong tables and cork paddles.
Well, thanks. Perhaps some other time.
Well, you're welcome any time on account of we got all kinds of things you'd be interested in. Do you know what you might like to see? You might like to see our fat boys gym. That's where we really slim them down.
Another time.
Uh-oh.
Samantha?
Listen.
Huh?
I think you got a bad water pump.
What? Gomer, don't start.
I think you got a bad water pump. Have you been going to email service station too?
Nothing, Mr. Burton, nothing at all. Thanks again for the lift. We really appreciate it.
It's okay.
Well, thanks again, Mr. Burton. And I'd have that water pump looked at. So long, Mr. Burton. You hear that? You can hear that water pump from here.
The radio!
We left it in Mr. Burton's trunk. What are we going to do?
That's a good question.
Oh, Dick, this is awful. What do we tell the sergeant?
What's even more scary is what Sergeant Carter going to say to us.
Of all the bird brain, numbskull, knuckleheaded stuff.
You're right, Sergeant. It was just plain silly of us. And we could just kick ourselves, couldn't we, Duke? Just kick ourselves.
Now, hear this, you goofballs. That piece of equipment cost the government $650.
$650? That much?
And I signed for it. You understand that, Pyle? I am responsible.
Well, that's just not fair, Sergeant. It was our fault, and we should at least share in the responsibility.
Oh, really?
Sarge, there must be some way of getting that radio back. After all, we know the driver's name.
That's right. His name's Mr. Burton, and he's a real nice fella.
Yeah, I'll bet. Probably a real nice crook.
Oh, no, not Mr. Burton. And I'm sure we'd recognize the car. I'd know it anywhere.
Oh, you would, huh? Pyle, did you ever stop to think there are probably 1 million of them cars running around the country? Where do we start to look? Maine? How about Chicago?
Well, wait a minute. I just remembered. Mr. Burton's staying over here in town.
That's right. He's here on business.
Well, so what? A fat chance you got of finding him.
Please, Sarge, it's worth a try.
The town's not all that big.
Right. What do we got to lose?
Can we try, Sergeant, please?
You sure you'd recognize the car?
Yes, sir, Sergeant. I'm positive.
Go get changed. Slater, you stay here and answer the phone. Just on the slim chance this guy turns out not to be a crook and calls in.
Right, Sarge.
Yeah, and there's one more thing you can do. Pray. Well?
Nothing yet, Sergeant.
A wild goose chase. I'll tell you something, Pyle. If you don't find that radio, you're going to be court-martialed and shipped to a new base.
A new base?
That's right, Fort Leavenworth.
Leavenworth?
That's correct. You may become a 30-year man.
Sergeant, it's just... That's it. There it is, Sergeant. That's the car.
Are you sure this is the car, Pyle? Are you positive?
This is it, Sergeant. This is it. It was dark blue and had white sidewall tires. I remember. This is Mr. Burton's car, all right. Yeah, this is the car, all right. Boy, aren't we lucky, Sergeant?
Yeah, very. The trunk's locked.
Oh, well, then we'll just have to wait here till Mr. Burton gets back.
Well, what if he doesn't get back? He may be gone all day. We got to get this radio back to supply.
What do we do?
Well, there's nothing else I can do. I'll have to pick the lock.
Pick the lock? You're not thinking about breaking into Mr. Burton's car, are you?
Pyle, I don't have much choice. I hate to do it, but it's a $2 lock against $650 worth of government equipment.
But breaking in, Sergeant, we could get in a whole lot of trouble.
What do you think we're in right now? Just keep your eye out and see that we're not spotted. It's empty.
Sergeant, there's the car.
What'd you say?
That car that just passed, that's it. That's really it. That's the car.
Don't tell me that's the car. This is the car, the one we just broke into.
No, Sergeant, that's it. Mr. Burton was driving it. I recognized him.
But you told me... Oh. Oh, leave it alone. Come on.
This is the car, all right. I recognize the upholstery. Mr. Burton must have gone into one of these buildings.
Well, we're not waiting for him, that's for sure.
You're not going to do that again, are you, Sergeant?
Pyle, I told you I have no choice. Another empty. Pyle!
Hey, Harry, look over there down the street. That bulletin we just got about the 2 car thieves in Marine uniforms.
Pyle, what is it with you?
Well, I just don't understand, Sergeant. The radio's... Sergeant, the police.
Huh?
They're looking this way.
Let's go. Standing here just a minute ago.
Do you think they're gone yet?
Quiet, I can hear them.
Ow! I sure wish they'd go. My tailbone's backed up against the jack handle.
Maybe they ducked around the corner. Let's check.
Sounds like they took off. Let's hang on for another minute and then get out.
That was a close call, Sergeant. We was lucky, just plain lucky. We're moving, Sergeant. We're moving. Where are we going?
I don't know, Pyle, I don't know. But wherever it is, why do I have to go there with you?
I know this is all my fault, Sergeant, and I just want you to know how sorry I am.
Don't talk, Pyle. Just don't talk. Later we'll talk. We'll go back to my office, we'll move the furniture, lock the door, and then we'll have a talk. Oh, boy, will we talk.
Tell me, Sergeant, I know I'm responsible for that radio, and, well, if it means clearing your good name, I'm more than willing to go to penitentiary.
Oh, no, Pyle. If we don't find that radio, I'm the one going to the penitentiary.
You, Sergeant, but why should you go? I'm the one that should go.
You can't go, Pyle, because, you see, you're dead. I killed you. That's why I'm going, and it'll be worth every minute of it.
Looks like we're slowing down.
Yeah.
Well, what do you know? It's starting to rain. Do you hear it, Sergeant? You hear it?
Yeah, I hear.
That's a nice sound. Rain on the roof. I always did.
Knock it off. This may be the time to make our getaway. Come on, let's get this trunk open. Ready? 1, 2, go!
Believe me, I had no idea you fellas were trying to follow me.
Well, we had no choice, Mr. Burton. You see, that's a pretty expensive piece of government equipment.
I figured it was. That's why I put it in my motel room. The minute I found it, I wanted to get in touch with you boys, but I didn't know how.
Well, I knew it was safe. I just knew it. You see, Sergeant Carter and you was so worried. Sergeant Carter here thought you might be a sneak thief and try to make off with you.
Knock it off, Pyle. Do you mind, Mr. Burton?
Come on. Well, this is it, fellas. We'll go in and you can pick up the radio.
You sure picked a nice place to stay, Mr. Burton. Plenty of parking space. Look over there, Sergeant. They got free television. If you and Miss Bunny ever got married, this'd be a nice place to spend your honeymoon.
Yeah, real good, Pyle.
Well, there it is, boys, if you want to check it over.
Boy, am I glad to see this again.
Gee, thank you, Mr. Burton, for keeping it so nice for us.
Okay, Pyle, stow that equipment and we'll give it the old heave-ho. And whatever you do, don't...
Don't worry, Sergeant. Nothing's gonna happen.
Pyle.
Personally, I think we owe Mr. Burton a whole heap of thanks for putting him in so much trouble. Sam.
Just get your hands up.
What's the angle? What did you bring them here for?
Forget it. Those uniforms are just the ticket for getting us through those roadblocks.
Sergeant, guess what? They're smugglers.
No kidding.
Let's get going.
What are you two waiting for? Get those uniforms off.
Mr. Burton, you may have done some awful things, but I just know you couldn't take the uniform off the back of a serviceman.
Well, the
pants are a little too long, but the shirt fits fine.
You look terrific, boss.
I sure am surprised at you, Mr. Burton. I mean, anybody that's nice enough to pick up a serviceman didn't turn out like this.
You're breaking my heart. Come on, Nick, grab the radio and let's load it in the car.
The radio? What do you guys want with a radio? That won't do you any good.
Oh, yeah? Maybe it won't bring as much as a brand new one.
That beat-up old thing? You'll be lucky if you can give it away.
Yeah? Didn't you say it cost a lot of money?
Yes, he did. That radio cost a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, I just said that so my men would take better care of their equipment from now on. That radio's practically worthless.
Oh, no, Sergeant, you was right in the first place. Duke and me looked it up in the supply catalog. It's like you said, it cost $650.
$650, huh?
Maybe even more than that now. That was last year's catalog.
Thanks, pal. Now, maybe we won't sell it too cheap.
Nice going, Pyle. You just blew the radio.
Thanks for the uniform, boys. Well, Nick, I guess you could say we're a couple of squared-away Marines.
Well, you don't look like squared-away Marines to me, that's for sure.
Pyle!
Well, they don't, Sergeant. They're not going to get very far with their pockets unbuttoned like that and no tie clasp and the hat on at the wrong angle.
Well, thanks, pal. We'll take care of those little details so we don't get stopped.
Another thing, you ain't going to get very far with that bad water pump. That thing's ready to go on you any time now, and the sooner the better.
One last thing. You talk too much. And you've got a big mouth.
It worked, Sergeant, it worked. You try it. You come over here and try it. Just start rocking it and rock up on your feet. Come on. Come on, try it. Just go over there to the wall. Come on. That's it. Rock. The best thing to do is to hook that piece of tape up to the nail. You're too low, Sergeant. Just keep working yourself up there and try to catch it right in the middle. You go ahead now, and I'm going to try to get loose from this chair. I just knew it'd work. I just did. These cheap old kitchen chairs, they're easy to break away. You can do it too, Sergeant. Come on, I'll show you how. Come on over here. Jump on over here. Now just get yourself a good running start and back in. Huh? Oh, I'll untie. There you go, Sergeant. Now get your feet. Sergeant, you ought not do that. That could smart.
We gotta find a phone booth fast.
Look, Sergeant, look.
Come on the double. Officer, boy, am I glad to see you. I think we can still catch him. Huh? Two crooks dressed in Marine uniforms, and they gotta be heading toward the border.
Except I don't think they're gonna get very far, not with that bad water pump.
Yeah, but we can't count on that. Let's go.
What is this? What do you think you're doing anyway?
I'm telling you, two crooks dressed in Marine uniforms. While we're talking, they're getting away.
Look, we know all about crooks in Marine uniforms. We've already got a report on them breaking into a car.
You did? Well, that wasn't the crooks. That was...
Listen, fellas, why can't we get started? Aren't we just wasting time talking?
Look, we can't take off every time somebody points out a suspicious character, and we're going to wait here for orders. So get out of this car, both of you.
I'm telling you, but we know the car. We know them.
Beat it.
Okay. Now you gotta take us. See?
These guys really are a pain. Unlock them, Frank, and kick them out of here.
No, let's take them in.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
We'll check out the highway before we do it. Wise guys, huh? What's that look like?
I don't know. I'll take a look.
Look, Sergeant Carter, there's the car.
Yeah.
I was right. Their water pump did give out on them.
Well, boys, what's the trouble?
Oh, just a little trouble with the water pump is all. It's cooling off, though. Boy, I'd sure like to get my hands on the guy who sold me this car. They'll take advantage of a serviceman every time.
Yeah, I guess they will. Well, take it easy.
Why didn't you grab him? Why didn't you grab him?
That's them. That's the smugglers.
Hey, didn't you say the cooks had a busted water pump?
That's right. That's it. That's the one.
Let's go, Harry.
You really don't have to hurry. They're not going to get very far.
Halt! Halt!
He got him. He got him. See, officer, I told you. I knew they wouldn't get far with that water pump.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, you listen to this boy. He used to work at a filling station. He knows all about cars, right, Pyle?
Right. And speaking of that, when have you had this squad car serviced? I think you're about due for a tune-up. You might have these shock absorbers looked at. They don't feel quite right. Might be, though, that your wheels need alignment.
Well, thanks a lot, fellas.
Are you kidding? Thank you. We'll be in touch.
Well, you got more luck than you deserve.
Sure nice of those police officers. If it hadn't been for them, we wouldn't have gotten our uniforms back or the radio or...
The radio. The radio, Pyle, the radio. We left it in the trunk of the police car.
That's right, we sure did. How in the world could we do a thing like that?
Hey!
Fitz?
A damsel in distress. And in order to preserve the image of the courteous Marine, I think it's only right that I should help.
Okay, but hurry up, will you? Hey, we'll wait for you.
Are you kidding? You're on your own, fellas. Sergeant Carter's now going on reconnaissance alone. See you tomorrow.
Have a ball,
Hi. Can I give you a hand?
Oh, thank you, Sergeant.
Carter. Vince Carter.
Betty Ann Brewster.
Nice to meet you. What happened?
Well, I don't know. I stopped to pick some flowers for my mother, and the car just wouldn't start again.
Well, I guess my horoscope was right. It said this day should bring you unexpected opportunity to pursue your hobby.
What's your hobby? Cars?
Girls. Well, let's take a look, huh? Maybe your oil filter's clogged. No, it ain't.
Oh, Sergeant, I'm so sorry.
Well, that's okay. I'll get a new one in town.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. I insist that you come to my house and I'll wash it for you.
Huh? But it'll take so long to dry.
Well, then we'll just have to sit there together until it does.
Let me get this sink fixed.
Well, thank you. And in the meantime, I'll just go and pick some more flowers.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, ma'am. Can I give you a hand?
Well, thank you, but that nice gentleman was kind enough to stop and help me.
Hey, buddy, can I give you a hand?
Huh?
Well, I'll be. Hey, Sergeant.
Pyle, what are you doing here?
I was on my way into town, and I just thought I'd stop and help.
Look, Pyle,
Oh, looky there. You got a spot on your shirt.
All right, get moving, Pyle. On your way, move it. I think your trouble is your distributor. I'll have it fixed in a second.
That ain't the distributor. That's the generator. Distributor's over there.
Get lost, Pyle, get lost. It ain't the distributor, miss.
Oh, there it is. I see the trouble.
What? What is it?
Well, back home, when one feller finds the trouble, he gives the letter it starts with, and then the other feller has to guess. The letter's S.
Well, I haven't got time for games.
I should have said ASP. It's 2 words.
What is it?
You give up already?
Pyle.
Well, first word's spark. You know what the P stands for? Plug. Spark plug, you get it?
That's it, Pyle. Just fix it.
Yes, sir. You can get in the car, miss. It'll be fixed in just a jiffy. You see, what happened, miss, is them little rubber caps popped off your spark plugs. I never have seen that happen before by accident. Usually you have to give them things a pretty good tug to get them off. But I guess if you hang around cars long enough, you're bound to see everything.
All right, Pyle, get a move on.
Yes, sir. I just snapped these little rubber caps right back on. First time I ever seen anything like this happen by accident. Give her a try now, ma'am.
Thank you, Pyle. Look, I'm sorry we can't give you a lift into town, but you know how these little cars are. They only seat 2 people.
Oh, that's all right. Walk will do me good anyways.
I'm sorry I can't take both of you. But since this is the young man who fixed the car, it's only fair that I take him. Get in, Private.
You can sit in my lap if you want to, Sergeant.
Oh, that was a sweet thing for you to do, son. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking care of my little girl like that. She's all I've got.
If you don't mind my saying so, ma'am, she may be all you've got, but what you got sure is fine.
I think so. Oh, now, Gomer, your hands must be dirty from fixing that car, so why don't you go and wash up? Now, there's a fresh towel right next to the window.
Yes, ma'am. Mechanics' hands are always dirty. The only time Wally's hands were ever clean was on Sunday. You could still tell he was a mechanic because of his fingernails.
Oh, right over here, Gomer. There. Well?
Oh, he's perfect.
Have I ever picked a wrong one yet?
No, but we gotta be careful, very careful.
Now, don't worry. I just wish we had 10 Gomers.
Oh, and I hope he's as dumb as that sailor we had in Norfolk.
Mom, next to Gomer, that sailor was Albert Einstein.
He sounds too good to be true.
Believe me, my only problem was choosing between Gomer and the sergeant who stopped to help me. He ran Gomer a pretty close second.
Ma'am?
Well, what is it, Gomer?
Ma'am, I just made a terrible mistake.
Well, what happened?
Well, you remember you told me that the towel was right by the window?
Yes.
Well, before I realized it wasn't the towel, I dried my hands on the curtains.
He's perfect. Just perfect.
What?
Oh, well, I was just telling Betty Ann how perfectly wonderful you were to help her. And I told Betty Ann that I insist that you stay for dinner.
Well, I don't know where I ought to do that.
Please, Gomer, please say you'll stay.
You mean a regular dinner where you sit down at the table and everything?
Just the 3 of us. Just one little happy family.
Ma'am, you're making my eyeballs puddle up.
Will you stay?
Will I?
Oh, good. And Gomer, don't call me ma'am. Call me Mom.
Okay. Mom?
Oh, thank you, son. And I'm going to cook you the finest meal you ever ate. Candied yams and noodle pudding, hominy grits, and my specialty, chicken and dumplings cooked in sherry wine. Oh, my. I just remembered I'm fresh out of cooking sherry. Gomer, dear, will you do me a favor?
Sure, anything, ma'am.
Mom.
Mom.
Well, would you mind going to the spirit store?
Spirit store?
Well, I just hate to say the word liquor.
You are a good woman. Just tell me what you want and I'll get it for you.
Oh, fine. Now, I'll just write down the kind to get. It's a special kind. And I'm going to put in a check for the man at the store to cash. He does that for me.
Betty Ann, you sure are a lucky girl. She's the sweetest mom I ever met.
She certainly is.
Well, here you are, son. Now, you just hand this to the man at the store, and he'll give you what I want. And remember, he'll be giving you a little money to bring back for the check I put in there.
Okay. Mom, just tell me where that store's at.
Oh, I'm going to drive you there, Gomer, and wait for you.
Good. We'll see you later, Mom.
Oh, he's just perfect.
Good afternoon. May I help you?
Say, you got just about everything in here, hadn't you?
Yes, sir. Is there something I can help you with?
Oh, it's all wrote down here in the note, exactly. Do you understand the note all right? Are you sure all the money's there? Glad I asked. I wouldn't want no mistakes. Much obliged, buddy. Ma'am, that's the best tasting apple pie I've had since I left home.
Oh, thank you, Gomer, but that's sweet of you to say.
I mean it.
Well, Gomer, we'd like you to come for dinner whenever you can.
Gosh, I just don't have the words to express my appreciation.
Well, you don't have to, Gomer. You've been ever so helpful already.
Why, it's been my privilege. I just wish there's more I could do for you.
Well, I'm sure you two children don't need an old lady sitting around, so I'm just going to mosey off to bed. Oh, Betty Ann, will you bring me that dish, please? Now, he's in your hands now. You make sure he wants to come back. Good night, son.
Good night, Mom.
Shall we sit? Gomer?
Huh?
What do you do in Mayberry when you're sitting with a girl with the lights turned down low?
You really want to see?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to pull down the shade.
All right.
Okay. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Now tell the truth. Don't that look like a real live swan?
So tell us the whole story, Gomer. What happened? So her car is stalled.
Well, I give her the once over, and then I realized she popped her plug. She wasn't even sparking.
No, who cares about the car, Gomer? What about the girl? The girl.
Yeah, was the girl pretty?
Oh, Betty Ann was more than pretty. She was beautiful. You ask Sergeant Carter. He's seen her. And she's got this sporty little car. It's fire engine red with white wall tires.
Gomer, what happened?
Well, then her mom This sweet little old lady home cooked us a chicken dinner with candied yams and all the fixings.
Gomer, we ain't interested in your diet. What happened?
Well, then we went into the living room where the lights had been turned down real low.
And?
You see, her mom had gone to bed and left me and Betty Ann sitting there on the sofa in the dark.
And?
Well, we sat there a while, and then I done some of my silhouettes on the window shade. That made her sleepy, so I went on home.
Oh, boy.
All right, everybody out on the road.
Hey, Sergeant. I was just telling the fellers what happened yesterday. I ain't lie funny. Just think, if you'd have fixed Betty Ann's car instead of me, you'd have been the one that had that home-cooked meal instead of me.
You had dinner with her?
Uh-huh. And you'd have been the one sitting in the parlor with her instead of me.
You sat in the parlor with her?
Uh-huh. I ain't lie funny.
On the road, Pyle.
Just because I fixed the car instead of you.
Outside, Pyle.
Ain't lie funny, though. Tell the truth.
Move it!
You must think me awfully silly, Gomer, but I ran out of cooking sherry again.
Oh, don't worry, ma'am. I'll be glad to go get you some.
I knew you would. Oh, you are such a dear boy. Well, I wrote down exactly what I want. So you just hand this envelope to the clerk. Like you did yesterday.
I like shopping like this. You can't forget nothing.
Oh, did you put the check in the envelope, Mother?
Oh, yes, dear. Oh, those darling Boy Scouts were around this morning for a donation, and I gave them all my cash. So, Gomer, you make sure the clerk gives you the change.
Oh, he will, ma'am. He's a real friendly feller.
Oh, we're going to a different liquor store today, Gomer. One on Fairview Street. The man isn't doing too well, and Mother thinks we ought to give him the business.
Oh, you are two of the most kindly people I've ever known. I hope them storekeepers appreciate what you're doing for them.
Off you go.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hey there, buddy. How things going?
Sort of quiet.
Well, this ought to brighten up your day some.
Hey, you guys see this? Marine bandit strikes again.
Hey, how about that guy? He knocked off another liquor store.
How do you figure? You think he's a real Marine?
Nah, he wouldn't wear his uniform. He'd have to be an idiot.
No, sir. No real Marine would do anything like that. Why, that'd be a disgrace to the whole corps. That's what it'd be.
You people that are going on liberty, make sure you're squared away.
All set, Sarge.
Take off.
Let's go, guys.
What is that?
Stout-hearted men.
What?
Stout-hearted men. That's the name of the new hair tonic I'm using. The radio announcer says it has that clean, masculine aroma.
You wouldn't by any chance have another date?
Yes, sir. Oh, you remember Betty Ann, the girl that popped her plug. She had that little bitty car, and she had room for me, and she didn't have room for you.
I remember.
Ain't like funny, Sergeant. If you'd fix Betty Ann's car instead of me, you'd be the one going in for dinner in the evening. I tell you, life sure is funny.
Get out of here.
Now, the store's right over there. Gomer, are you sure you have the note?
You betcha I have.
Pyle!
Hey, Sergeant, what you doing here?
I've been looking all over for you.
You have? Is something the matter?
You gotta get back to the base. Hi, Betty Ann.
Hello, Sergeant.
But why, sir?
I never saw anyone leave his bunk in such a mess. The hospital corners on your bunk were a disgrace.
They were?
Well, you'd better get back before the duty officer checks the barracks or he'll really lay you out. If you hurry, you can probably just make it.
But I gotta pick up something for Betty Ann's mom.
Please, it won't take very long, Sergeant.
Well, how about I do it? He's got to get back.
Well,
Well, any little errand he can run, I can run.
well, I suppose so. I guess it'll be all right.
Well, it's that store right there, Sergeant. And you just give the clerk this note, and he'll give you a bottle of cooking sherry, and there's a check in there he'll cash for you.
It's all in the note.
Okay. Now, you get to the bus station and get the first bus back to the base. I hope you beat the duty officer.
Don't worry, Sergeant, I will. And thank you for warning me. Bye, Miss Betty Ann. I gotta get back to the base now, but the Sergeant Carter here to take over real fine for me.
Get the car started, honey. I'll be right back.
Good afternoon, Sergeant. You certainly seem happy today.
You'd be happy, too, if you were in my shoes. Here, it's all in the envelope. And make it snappy. I got a lot of lost time to make up for.
I know exactly what you mean.
Come on, I ain't got all night. Move it.
Hi, Mom. Oh, hello, dear. Dinner's almost ready. Go. What happened to Gomer?
Well, he had to go back to the base. This is Sergeant Carter, who was nice enough to fill in for Gomer.
Hi, Mom. I've heard a lot about you.
Oh, thank you, Sergeant. Now, you just make yourself at home, and we'll be back in a minute.
I'll be waiting for you.
Oh, what happened? Why did Gomer leave?
Oh, he's so stupid he can't even make his bed right. They sent him back to camp.
Oh, I'm afraid of this one. A private, okay. But this one's a sergeant. They're smarter.
Oh, not this one. He's the one I was telling you about. He was with Gomer that first day. Besides, he already pulled our job for us. Look, it's our biggest haul yet.
Special news bulletin we gave you a few minutes ago. The Marine Bandit has struck again. For the third time in as many days, a liquor store was victimized by this daring bandit. Today, the scene of the crime was Harry's liquor store on Jefferson Avenue.
Hey, did you hear that? Marine Bandit just hit the liquor store we were in.
This time, the bandit wore the uniform of a Marine sergeant.
The dirty rat.
According to the proprietor's description, the sergeant was about 5 feet 10 inches tall, stockily built, thick-necked, with beady brown eyes and a crew haircut.
That kind always has beady eyes.
And as in the 2 previous robberies, he handed the proprietor a note in a white envelope, demanding money and a bottle of cooking sherry. Stay tuned for more details.
White envelope? Cooking sherry. Marine...
Here, Mom, I've got everything.
Good. Well, that ought to hold him. Come on.
These are the ones, officers. These two right
All
here.
All right, you two.
Shame, shame, shame on you. What you two done is a disgrace to ladyhood. And to think you used me to help you. Ill-gotten gains is what it was. Ill-gotten gains. I'll take care of the sergeant, officer.
All right, Fred, take her on out. Come on. All right, let's go.
Hey, Sergeant. Ain't this the awfulest thing you ever seen? And I thought they was such nice ladies. Why, they had me buffaloed right from the start. They had me working for them, getting them their ill-gotten gains. I know what you're thinking. You won't know how I caught on to it. Well, this is the way it was, Sergeant. There I was, sitting in the bus station, waiting on the bus to take me back to camp, just like you told me to, with nothing else on my mind except them hospital corners. When all of a sudden this feller's voice come on the radio and said the Marine Bandit had struck again. Well, he had such a nice, deep voice, you couldn't help but pay attention to it. And then he said that the bandit had this crew haircut and was a little stocky. You are kind of stocky, Sergeant. Not plump stocky, but I spot a jiggle in your jowls every once in a while. Anyway, he said about the envelope and the letter, so I just put two and two together. I ain't lie funny, Sergeant. Just think, if you hadn't found me, I'd be sitting there all tied up, and you'd be sitting here talking. I ain't lie funny now, Sergeant.
Whoa!
Pyle.
Hey, Sergeant. I was just fixing this nice lady's car. Her valves need grinding, but I think I can get her to go.
Yeah, well, suppose you let me take over from here on.
Huh?
I said get lost.
But, Sergeant,
Pyle, you did it to me once, so I'm doing it right back to you. You cut me out with that Betty Ann dame.
Yeah, but she turned out to be a robber.
That's right. So the law of averages says this should turn out right this time.
But, Sergeant, I know...
Beat it, Pyle.
Sergeant?
Move it, move it. How do, ma'am? I hope you don't mind, but the private had to leave on urgent business, so I'll take over for him. Okay?
Bless you, son. It's so sweet of you to do this.
না না আজকে তা করবো না।
ভালো একটা মিষ্টির দোকানে ঢুকবেন আর আমি যে কাঁচা গোল্লাটা খাই সেটা আনবেন।
আচ্ছা।
আর ডেট দেখে আনবেন কিন্তু।
মিষ্টির ডেট?
আরে বাবা, যেটা আজকে সকালে বানানো হয়েছে সে একটু গরম গরম থাকবে আর সফট হবে।
ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, আমি যাই। হ্যাঁ।
কনকের বাপে তো 5 লাখ টাকা দিছে। এখন শরীফুল ভাই আমারে কইতাছে যে তুমি 1 লাখ টাকা দাও, তোমার 1 লাখ টাকা দিয়ে আমি 5 লাখ টাকা বিট করুম, তোমার সেভ করুম।
আমার তো মনে হচ্ছে টাকার লেগা শরীফুল পাগলা করতে হয়ে গেছে। টাকা তোমার দেওয়ান লাগবো, নাহলে ও ঠান্ডা হইব না, দিয়ে দাও।
এই যে টাকা ধর।
এটা কি?
এতগুলো নগদ টাকা সোয়ের সামনে দেখে কি এটা বোঝা যাচ্ছে না যে এটা টাকা? কসকসা নগদ টাকা বোঝা গেছে?
টাকা সেটা তো বুঝলাম, আমার টাকা দাও 1 লাখ।
টাকা আমি 1 লাখ না, তোরে 2 লাখই দিব। কিন্তু তার আগে আমি তোকে বাড়ি যাবো, যায়া বুবুর সাথে বসমু, জায়গার দলিলপত্র সব দেখমু, দেখার পরে বুঝমু তুই কতটুকু পাস, তারপর আমি তোরে টাকা দিব।
ম্যাডাম আপনি?
এটা কি
টাকা ম্যাডাম।
এটা যে টাকা আমিও তো দেখতে পাচ্ছি, এটা কিসের টাকা, কোত্থেকে আসলো?
আমার স্ত্রী ম্যাডাম।
তাহলে আপনি আমাদের শর্ট লিস্টে আসতে চান, এই তো?
সবাই তো চায়, আমিও চাচ্ছি।
কিন্তু শর্ট লিস্টে আসার জন্য মাত্র 50,000 টাকা, খুব কম হয়ে গেল না?